What's going on, everybody? Well, we're back. It is Monday, May the 9th, 2022, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name's Dave McRae, coming to you live from the VoiceMann Studios in Toronto, Canada. He's Tony Michael in Atlanta, Georgia. It is episode 152 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit tonight, and we're watching for the first time ever Freddy versus Jason. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live. We are live. Freddy versus Jason 2003. The long-awaited, for many people, not everybody, but for many people at that time, the long-awaited versus movie between the two most iconic slasher titans of the 1980s, Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. They had talked about it years before they had talked about it, but they were never able to get all their ducks in a row and make it happen, but they finally did in 2003. And who did they get to direct it? Why not a music video director? That's what they needed to do. I think he was a music video director, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm mistaken on that. Ronnie Yu, I think it was.
Ronnie Yu, yeah.
Yeah.
He correct? Well, actually, I won't know because I don't have YouTube open right now, folks, because I'm actually in the middle of working.
Yeah, Tony's going to be doing double duty tonight.
Yeah, I got to do client stuff because I got hit with a last minute request to do for a listing at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I'm editing photos while watching this, but I can't run YouTube and Photoshop Suite at the same time because memory, no.
That's all right. No worries. No worries, my man. Totally understandable.
But didn't this guy direct one of the Fast and Furious movies? Or am I thinking of someone else?
I think you're thinking of Justin Lin.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yes.
No, Ronnie Yu is let me see here. He's a film director. Is a Hong Kong film director, producer, and movie writer. He has worked both Hong Kong and American films. He is mostly known for his work in the American horror genre, such as Bride of Chucky and Freddy versus Jason. So there you go. Maybe it's Justin Lin that is the music video director. I think he's the music video director. Maybe Ronnie Yu isn't. I don't know. Maybe they both are. I have no idea. Anyway, all I know is that for me, it was a strange choice. I think I'm no disrespect to Ronnie Yu, but it's kind of like, really? I guess maybe because they wanted the whimsy and the whimsical and the sensibility. I guess. Hey, it is what it is. I am not a big fan of versus movies. I do understand the appeal. I get the appeal. I understand that. But for me, Freddy and Jason, by this time, Freddy and Jason for me had already really run its course. I could not have cared less. I think maybe if you if you were really hardcore, and you had been wanting this and waiting for this for, oh my God, this is amazing. Oh my God, they're going to do it. I thought some of the marketing material for the movie actually was quite good. But this is just silly. This is just silly stuff.
Did you see it in theater?
No, I didn't see it in the theater.
I saw it with my brother and my cousins. It was just kind of one of those things where we all looked at each other like, we ain't got shit to do today.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Yeah. It was Robert Englund's last
the joint, and yeah.
Yep, it was Robert Englund's last hurrah as Freddy Krueger. Well, technically, no. He did have that little cameo on the Goldbergs about 4 years ago. But this was the last movie that Robert Englund played Freddy Krueger in. And again, right. I'm just not a big fan of the wisecracking Freddy Krueger. I don't mind like a line or something that, because again, I mean, even in that first Elm Street, there's a line here or there, like, I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. And even when, Tina comes running past that tree.
He's God.
Well, yeah, but that's more, that's actually not a...
That's more sinister.
Yeah, it's not a wisecrack. There's so many layers to that line, actually.
True. Good point.
Yeah, the "This is God" line is, it's creepy because he is the antithesis of God, really, God. Right?
Right.
So it's like, no, I'm God now, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, whoa, it's kind of crazy. But there's that moment where, Tina runs past the tree and he's like, hey, Tina, watch this, and he cuts off his thing and he looks all happy about it. I mean, there's little bits, but it's not. But there's still a sinister and a darkness and a just a foreboding about Freddy in those first two films. And
yeah, well, after 2, he pretty much becomes 3 began. He wasn't totally there yet.
Not totally there, but
he was. You
well
saw
on
the
his
transition.
way.
Yeah, you saw that transition in 3 of where he was becoming more the jokester and the one-liners, and
that's
welcome to prime time.
Yeah, well on his way. And by the time, Freddy's dead, and then, Freddy versus Jason, I'm just not a big fan of I don't know what it is. Like, you look at, I know that Frankenstein and the Mummy and the Wolf, I mean, they've all appeared, and I guess it feels like a natural progress. I think this is what it is for me. Whenever I think of, and this is no surprise to our audience, of course, right? Like, I like things to be taken seriously. So I'm somebody that's why, I really like the first half.
You love the layers.
Well, yes, I do, but not that there's too many layers in a Friday the 13th movie, but it's that thing where I really appreciate sort of just, taking it seriously. And I think that's why I like the first couple of Halloween. I like the first couple of Elm Street. I like the first, few Friday the 13th movies. By the time, yes, I agree. By the time 2003 rolled around, Jason and Freddy were caricatures of themselves. Yeah, I mean, they were just overblown cartoon characters by that time. And so it made sense. I get it. I understand it. Nobody's taken by 2003, nobody has taken Jason and Freddy seriously in fucking, 15 years. So, I mean, I get it. You might as well do it. I understand it. But there's just a part of me that feels like it's just making fun of something that I don't know. It just waters it down. It just waters it down to me.
Do you think, I mean, of course, but then again, I guess you have to take it into the perspective when I ask this question of Dave McRae, the kid versus, because there is a difference between Dave McRae, the kid versus Dave McRae, the adult. So
fair enough.
Do you think you would have felt different about a Freddy versus Jason movie had they actually done one in the 80s?
It's a good question, Tony. I don't know.
Because again, our perspective as kids, totally different versus to when we're adults.
I don't know. It's a very good question. Maybe it's entirely possible. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Do you think they missed the boat on that by not doing it in like that late 80s, just before,
well, in terms of appeal, absolutely. Yes, I think so. I mean, I think it would have been far more successful and appealing back then. But I don't know. I just find it weird that they coexist in the same universe. It just is like, that doesn't make any sense to me,
I felt the Jason that I would have loved to have seen against Freddy would have either been the Jason Lives Friday the 13th or your boy, the one you like,
Ted
best.
White,
yes.
Richard Brooker. Yeah.
You pick your choice. Either those,
3 or 4.
Either one of those two Jason or the Jason. Well, see, with Jason Lives, there's like 5 of them.
Yeah.
The one in the best looking shape, not Pudgy
CJ
Jason.
Graham. CJ Graham. Yeah.
The best looking shape, muscular wise, Jason.
Yeah. CJ Graham.
I think one of those 3 versus Englund, Robert in like Nightmare 3.
Yeah. Or even 2, somewhere
or 2.
in there. Yeah.
I think somewhere in there definitely would have been a bit more appealing. You know what I mean?
I get you.
And definitely, I think would have been of course, obviously. But see, to me, I felt that, part of the verses it turned into in the 2000. When did this come out? 3.
3, yeah.
Yeah. It turned into a bit of like I was watching like The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was like it became WWF.
Yeah, well, it's satire. I mean, it's not.
I don't think they would have done that in the 80s. I mean, no. I think it would have been a fight. It would have been a fight. That's the way I think that they would have gone, because the attitude, pun on the attitude era. The attitude of the early 2000s, I think that's where the director went with, and he brought some of that WWE vibe.
Well, that's all it is.
In the fight. Whereas
That's all
in
it
the
is.
80s, I think it might have been a bit different.
Oh, it wouldn't. I don't think it necessarily would have worked, because I think in order for you to have a Freddy versus Jason movie, just the idea of that in and of itself is ridiculous, right? Like, really, at the end of the day, it's silly. Like Michael versus Pinhead. I mean, just say that out loud 10 times. Michael versus Pinhead. I mean, it's so ridiculous, right? So obviously, how do you make a movie and take it seriously? You know, I mean, how do you make a serious versus movie? You know, everything's so serious. No, you almost can't. So it's almost like both, you know, properties.
No, that's why it only works in like the monsters with Kong and Godzilla. That's where you expect to see that,
right? Because they're larger than life titans. You know, they're gods. You know, I mean, it's like dinosaurs. You know, it's on a different level.
Pretty much.
So I mean, but with Freddy versus Jason, yeah, you almost needed both properties, both series, to kind of just run their course into an area where they were just laughable, and there was a complete 180. Whereas one time they were cool, now they're, you know, whatever. And now it's the perfect time to do a versus because they're both just fucking, you know, caricatures of themselves.
Yeah. Properties were dead in the water at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So I just don't think it would have, you know, and I don't know. I just never, you know.
I do think the movie going audience of the 80s, I think it would have done box office wise, it would have done a hell of a lot better than what it did in 03.
Sure. And
because at the peak of their popularity.
Of course. And all of us who were young kids growing up through the 1980s watched this movie.
Awesome.
Watched this movie, Freddy versus
Yeah.
Because it was nostalgic. It was like, Freddy versus Jason. But I could not care less if they ever make another one. I hope they don't make another one. You know, I'm not a versus guy. I get the appeal. I understand it. Totally understand the appeal. I get it. But it's just not for me. It's just not for me. It's because I take things so seriously. You know, it would be like, hey, what about Billy from Black Christmas? And I'd be the Batman in the Batman and Robin meme slapping, you know, Robin. There is no fucking goddamn. How about Michael versus shut up? Yes, you know, that's who I am. It's like, no, just don't do that. It's ridiculous. Anyway, we're going to be watching Freddy versus Jason tonight. I have not seen this movie in a long time.
Likewise, I think I bought it with, it came with another movie. One of the, you know what? I think it came when I bought the entire Nightmare on Elm Street series. Because when I bought it on iTunes, it came with, you know, like you buy a DVD box.
Yes.
Same concept for digital.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the whole series I got for like $29, so which is not a bad deal.
Yeah.
You know, and I think this came with it,
right.
as part of the package deal. So
gotcha.
It's not like I was like personally seeking out to buy
No, I gotcha. Tony and I are paused just a few seconds in on the New Line Cinema logo. So the New Line Cinema with the 2 film strips. When I was a young kid, I think I've mentioned this before, but when I was a young kid, I used to think those were ladders. They were ladders. And I always knew I was watching an Elm Street movie. Of course, back then when I was a kid, there were only, I think, 2 Elm Street movies when I got into Freddy Krueger, the first one and the second one. So I always knew that when I saw the ladders, it was like, ooh, I'm watching Elm Street. You know, and then, of course, years later, I'm like, those aren't ladders. Those are film strips. So anyway, that's where we're paused. New Line Cinema, the 2 little film strips. So if you're watching along with us, join us as we take this journey into Freddy versus Jason. Alrighty. And a Canadian dude playing Jason. What's his name again?
I don't know. I just remember the piss.
Chat room will let us know.
How many people were pissed off at the fact that it wasn't Kane Hodder.
Yeah. Well, the reason why is because he wasn't tall enough. I mean, that is why.
Yeah.
They wanted somebody a lot bigger.
Yep. I mean, and it's unfortunate, you know, because Kane is what is he, 5'10", something like that.
Kane would like to tell you he's like 6'4". Yeah, Kane is not 6'4". He's like, he's probably 5'11", maybe 6 foot, maybe. But whenever you see him, there's photos with Kane. And listen, I'm not knocking Kane. I love Kane. I have no issues with Kane. I'm just saying that there are people like, no, he's 6'3". He's not. Look at the fucking heel on the boots that he wears at conventions. Even Robert Englund. Robert Englund's not a tall guy either. He might be 5'10", 5'9", 5'10". He's not tall either.
Because I watched it. I've been casually going through each of the seasons of Supernatural. There's like 100 of them.
Yeah.
Not literally, but Robert Englund actually guest starred on Supernatural, and he's standing next to in a scene, or he's doing a scene with the guy from Jensen Ackles. He was also on Smallville. And Jensen Ackles is either a really tall guy or Robert Englund's a really short guy, because Jensen is towering over Robert in the scene. And I'm like, Jensen doesn't strike me that as a tall guy, because I know the other guy on the show, Jared Papahui, I know he's a tall guy in real life. I know he's like 6'4" or something like that. But the other guy, the Jensen dude, he didn't strike me to be as like a 6-footer. That's what I expected him to be. So when I saw the scene with him and Robert, I was like, shit, man, either Robert's short or this dude is tall. I had a buddy
who met Kane at a convention, and my buddy is about 5'11", 6 foot, and Kane was basically eye to eye with him, is what he said. He said, I stood beside him at the table, got a photo with him, and he's like, we're the same height. So anybody who says Kane is 6'3", make sure, or if you yourself are 6 foot and you go up to Kane and he's towering over you, make sure to look at his feet first. You know, and again, I'm not knocking him, but there are photos online of Kane with heels like this. I'm just saying, they're easy to seek out. If you give me a moment, I could probably find one for you. And I'm not knocking the guy, but he's not 6'3". I can tell you that. He ain't 6'3". Because if he's 6'3", then that means he's 6'7" in those boots, which we know he's not. Because look at how big he is compared to the female actresses in some of the movies he's in too, right? He's sometimes eye level with some of the female actresses. So again, I'm not knocking Kane. Anyway, it is an area of deep discussion that always seems to happen. But yeah, Robert is not tall either. He's probably like 5'10", something like that, 5'9", 5'10". He's not. There are people that know he's like 6'2". Freddie was never 6'2". He's not 6'2". He's not 6'2". Anyway,
because even in the original Elm Street, when he's standing behind Tina, or when he's standing in scenes with Nancy. I know Amanda. Is it Amanda Wise? Is that how she pronounces her last name?
Wise,
something like that. Yeah. I know she's about a 5'5", but Heather, I think, is what, on the 5'7" side.
I don't know, maybe
give or take or two.
Yeah.
And he's not really towering over her like he is a 6'2",
right?
Person.
Yeah. Well, look. The bottom line here is that Kane wasn't tall enough. So, I mean, that really is what it is, because Kane doesn't tower over Robert Englund. So that should tell you something right there. If Kane towered over Robert Englund, he'd be in this movie. You know what I mean? But that was there may have been other reasons, but one of the reasons why it's like, well, hang on, Kane's not that much taller than Robert Englund. So the vision of the director was, no, I want Jason to be hulking. I want like Richard Brooker, Ted White kind of thing. So they hired, the guy they did. And well, that's what it is. I get why people were upset. I get it, but it is what it is, unfortunately. And I'm sure Kane was kind of upset too. I'd be disappointed. Well, I know. I've heard he was really pissed off. Yeah, I can understand.
He wanted to be in this, and to be in the Freddy
for sure,
Jason.
For sure. And like I said, I love Kane. I'm not knocking the guy. I love him. I think he's great. We all do. He's got a hell of a story too. His documentary is amazing. Anyway, let's start this thing here. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's loud.
Freddy versus Jason. We are now in the boiler room. Do, 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 do. There he is, Robert Englund. He's going to be in the upcoming Stranger Things, of course, season 4. Robert Englund's got a little role in that movie. I keep
forgetting that show is even coming out.
Yeah, May 27th. What the fuck is his name in the movie, too? His name in the movie, Robert Englund's name. Victor Creel, is that his not movie? Sorry, in the new season of Stranger Things, I think his name is Victor Creel. His character, like that's such an '80s horror name. Like, yeah, it's something like that. Victor Creel. I'm like, oh, that's such a great name. I love that name. I wish I could have come up with that name. It's so good. Anyway, I look forward to seeing him in the new season. Oh yes, we get a bit of the I guess we're seeing the parents
backstory.
The parents kill the Springwood slasher 7 years before we saw it again with Jackie Earle Haley. I like how we're getting narration from Robert Englund here. Yeah, you've got the body. I've got the brain. I love that part. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Everything's too bright, though. Oh, maybe it's just because I'm watching this in 4K. Maybe it's just, it's too clean. I think that's what it is for me. So we're just seeing the recap of all the Elm Street movies. Mm-hmm. My favorite Elm Street movies, of course, are the first one and the second one are my favorites. I don't mind part 3. Like 3 can be fun. But it's funny, when I was doing just a few months ago, I was doing the best and worst of the Elm Street series with my friends Frank and Darren of the Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast. And so I had to watch all the Elm Street films. I was watching one a week, essentially. And watching them so close together like that, I have to admit, I actually enjoyed bits of 4 better than I liked part 3. I don't hate 3 or anything. I know it's a fan favorite, but for whatever reason, I don't enjoy 3 as much as I remember. Like every time I watch 3, for whatever reason, I enjoy it a little bit less. And I know that's like blasphemous to Elm Street fans, but I gotta say it's the truth. I don't dislike the movie or anything. It's a fun movie. I get why people like it, but for whatever reason, I like it less and less every time I watch it.
No, I hear what you're saying. I'm kind of that way with liking 3 is it's sort of tied with New Nightmare for me, but New Nightmare is slowly edging out 3 because of what Wes did and how ahead of the time he was by being very meta with what he created in New Nightmare.
I gotcha.
So yeah.
A couple super chats came in. Let me grab these. So Cody Snyder sends in $10. Thank you, Cody, my man. Good to see you here. Says, great opportunity to throw some love out for Monica Keena, Snow White, A Tale of Terror, Night of the Demons, 09. And Catherine Isabel, Ginger Snaps. Ginger Snaps, that's a Canadian film. I knew the DP on that. Hannibal, American Mary, 2000 Scream Queens. Yes. Are they in this movie? Maybe that's what you mean. I guess they're in this movie, perhaps. Well, this was shot in Vancouver, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. Riker H sends in $2, says, this is much better than the new Godzilla vs. Kong. I wasn't a big fan of the new Godzilla vs. Kong, but I don't know.
Might have to disagree on that.
New Nightmare, Nightly Gymo. Great to see you here, my man. Sends in a very generous $20. Thank you, Nightly. You didn't have to do that. Says, hey, D&T. Hope y'all doing well. I've been catching up on a bunch of past streams, so thank you guys for keeping me entertained while I remain awake all night. Unpopular opinion, Freddy vs. Jason is my least favorite Friday film. Well, yeah, I guess it is a Friday / Elm Street film, isn't it? It's a combination of the two. I never really thought of that. Is that an unpopular opinion, Nightly? Yeah. What is the general consensus among horror fans of this film anyway? I don't really know. Like, is it a fan favorite? Is it looked down upon? I always kind of thought maybe it was kind of in the middle. Like some people like it, some people don't like it. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. But thank you for the super chat, Nightly. That's kind of cool. Yeah, it's not a movie that I particularly like.
Care for.
Yeah. Care for. That's it. Care for. Yeah. Here we have Jason's mother.
Definitely not Betsy Palmer.
It's not Betsy Palmer, but
not even close.
No.
Not even a slightest resemblance.
Rise up, Jason. Your work isn't finished. Hear my voice and live again. So the actor who plays Jason in this movie is actually in Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, in the little sort of restaurant / bar scene where Kane Hodder there's like a waiter or a busboy, somebody who comes to try and take care of Jason, and Kane Hodder, picks him up and like throws him against the window or the back wall and shatters the glass.
In this flick.
Yeah, the actor, and you can see he's much taller than Kane. The actor who that was is the actor who plays Jason in this movie. I forget why do I keep forgetting his name? Chat room will let me know. Oh, there it is. Ken Kurtzinger. That's it. Ken Kurtzinger. Thank you very much, Geeked Out Turtle fan. Ken Kurtzinger. Yeah. So Ken Kurtzinger had a cameo in Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, believe it or not. Elm Street. Do, 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 do. 1428. Are they supposed to be in the Elm Street house here? I guess they are. They're having a
sleepover.
Yeah. They're playing oh yeah. Okay, I get it.
I definitely like the girl in the hat. If I had to pick between the three that I would date in this room, definitely the girl in the hat.
The girl in the hat. She
She's
kind of,
fun.
yeah. She almost looks like she could be Andy Matichek's sister. Don't you think? Kind of a little bit
like older sister. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, perhaps.
Now, Andy, that's definitely a girl. That's a girl you take home to mom and introduce.
I think she's married, isn't she? She's married, has a kid.
I think she is. Yeah, I think she is.
Well, it's funny. She's 27.
She just seems like an all-around good.
She does.
Egg.
She does. I hope her career flourishes after Halloween ends.
I do too. I hope she does something because I can see she's got range with her acting skills. So I hope she tries and get maybe get into some independent stuff, keep growing your skills, kind of take the Pattinson road, and, So I guess this is supposed to be the Elm Street house. I get why people again, I understand the appeal. I do. I get it. But I don't know. By this time, it's just so hard to take. That's one thing I noticed too when I was doing the Slaughter Lamb's Best and Worst of Elm Street series, is that obviously, and I know it's a matter of opinion, but the further I guess the further any horror series goes on, you could say this about, but specifically as it relates to Freddy, it's just the further it goes along, the less scary he becomes, and it just becomes he becomes a carnival barker, and he's just sort of, he's like I said, he's a caricature, he's a cartoon character, and I mean, but Dave.
Yeah, I know.
I want a Michael versus Jason movie.
Oh God, people are so desperate. Horror fans are so funny. I love horror fans. I mean, I'm one of them. But man, there's such a range of tastes, like there are horror fans out there that would be like, yeah, Leprechaun versus Chucky, woo! And it's like, what?
No, the only doll movies I want to see, the doll.
Your doll?
The only doll movies I want to see is Annabelle versus Chucky. That's it.
Your doll? Annabelle versus your doll? Chucky did it. Where are you going? To find Chucky.
Just so that I can see Tiffany and Annabelle
there's people watching
off at each other.
That's it. There's people that are watching us right now going, what? They totally don't get to find Chucky. They don't understand the reference. We did a Two Dudes, like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago or something. Our Child's Play episode. And there's the cop in that movie. He's like, Chucky did it. He's like, ya doll? Ya doll? He's got that kind of like, I don't know if he's supposed to have a Chicago accent.
I think he was trying to do a little walking.
Ya doll? And then when the mom races off to find Chucky, he's like, where are you going? And she's like, to find Chucky. Like she says it with such conviction. To find Chucky. It's great. I love it. Anyway, you had to be there. Riker H sends in $5, says they contacted Betsy Palmer to be Jason's mom in this film, but she declined after she read her part and just hated. Oh, really? Is that true? I didn't know that. If that's true, that's cool.
Oh, I can agree on that.
Yeah. That's cool. I understand that. Good for her. Good for her. Good for her. I'm glad. Again,
I think
she declined.
I think if they had done this maybe in the 80s, it would be a totally different vibe, and they maybe would have been able to snag Betsy Palmer to reprise her role. Because maybe I think had they done this in the 80s, it for sure would have been a totally different type of movie.
Yeah, and well, like, but like you said, as you astutely pointed out, they may not have done it. Yeah, well, astute, being sort of
astute.
Perceptive.
I know what it means.
Yeah. But like you did, I mean, they may not have done it in the 80s because it was, although both series, certainly both series by the late 80s were starting to head into the camp and cheese factor. I mean, in 89, you had Jason Takes Manhattan, and he doesn't even really take Manhattan. He just sort of goes, he goes through a stroll, right? Or goes for a stroll. It just may not have been the right time.
Vancouver.
They should have called it Jason Takes Vancouver. That's right.
Well, that's not fair, because I do think some of the scenes were filmed in Times Square. Right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, the Times Square stuff was filmed in Times Square, but everything else was Vancouver.
Vancouver.
That's right. Yeah. Fine. I'll go have a shower then.
Now that is the definition of a soy boy. Babe, I don't like to be touched afterwards.
Oh, God.
That's a soy boy.
You don't like to be touched afterwards? The fuck is wrong with you? That's a lot of lightning. Those lightning, those lightning strike lights are. I mean, I like my lightning too, but.
Oh, you would love it down here in the South, man, because we get them all the time.
Oh, I bet. You want a beer? Yeah, give me a beer. Okay. You gonna give me one? Yeah.
He's talking about Halloween.
There's Jason. Oh, what's he doing there all of a sudden anyway? Ooh, yeah. Look.
He took an Uber. He got there pretty quick.
This looks so silly. The fucking bed just go. Oh man, I love it. That's good. That's funny. But see, that's the problem. I don't want to laugh when I watch Freddy, a Freddy movie or a Jason movie. I want to be scared. I don't want to laugh.
She doesn't have a good scream.
No.
No,
she's out in her towel.
Either that, or she just, that could have been the 100th take and her voice was shot, and that's the one they used. So I can't say for sure if she doesn't have a good scream or not.
Yeah, who knows?
Because that take just did not, no.
Oh, I recognize this actor playing the cop. I've seen him in other things before. Riker H sends in $2, says Alien versus Predator, PG-13, 2004. Now, this was bad. I never saw Alien versus Predator, actually. For the same reasons. It's the same reasons. I never wanted to. I just like, I know. There are people watch this going, Dave,
why do you got to criticize everything?
Dave, why do you have to be... Dave, why can't you just enjoy life? I enjoy life.
Because we're old men now. We're grumpy.
So it is. Oh, yeah, I know. Well, geez, if I'm this way in my 40s, what the hell am I going to be in my 70s?
Oh, God.
I'll tell you right now, fucker, that Freddy versus Jason shit was shit.
No, I don't think I'm going to sound like that.
Probably not.
All right. I'm just going to put in my Halloween. Oh, do.
Well, by the time you're 70, we'll be up to Halloween 40.
Yeah, that's right.
Halloween 40, baby.
Michael's 150.
Yep. What has this actor been in? This cop here. What other fucking movies? Chat room. What other movies has this actor been in? There's some other movies he's been in. Wait, is this the girl? No, that's not the girl that was in the shower. No.
Oh, that's what's his name. He's been in a lot of shit.
Yeah, he's always, but like his different characters, like
he's in Scary Movie.
Okay.
he plays the parody of Ryan Philippe's character.
Okay, no, it's not Scary Movie I'm thinking of. Night at the Roxbury, no. There's something else I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, that's right. He is in Night at the Roxbury. Yeah.
I'm thinking of something else. No, not Riverdale.
He's been in a lot of shit.
Yeah, well, he's like a little, he's a character actor. Dead Man on Campus. I don't think that's what I'm thinking of, but Adam Fink goes deep cut with Dead Man on Campus. I saw Dead Man on Campus when it came out in 1998, I think. I went to the movie theater to see that movie. I remember that. Dead Man. Yeah, that has Mark Gosselaar, Zach there from Saved by the Bell. If that's the one I'm thinking of. But I don't know if that's... Oh, Steak Sauce says he's in I Know What You Did Last Summer. Oh, is he? Really? I don't remember him in that movie.
I think he's in I Still Know.
Maybe it's I Still Know then.
I think he's in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Because I think he dies in the beginning.
Oh, her eyes are cut out. Help me. And he loves children. Ooh. Especially little girls. Like, you see, like, come on. Yeah. So, like, chat room, do you know what? I'm going to put up a poll. I want to know. Do you, what should the question be, though? Oh, I can add an option. Hang on a sec here. I'm very curious. Okay, I have 4 options. Okay, a poll is going up, chat room. It is, do you like Freddy versus Jason? Your first option is, I love it. The second option is, I like it. The third option is, no. And the seven, well, I guess, no, hang on. I'll put meh. It's like meh, And then the fourth option is I hate it. All right, here we go. I'm asking the community. The poll is going up, and we'll see what this does. There it is, folks.
I'm gonna vote. I love it.
You vote. You love it. Don't. I love it. We'll see what happens.
I love it.
Oh, you did too. You son of a bitch. He loves
Just to
it.
be a troll.
We'll see what happens. Here. 46%. Oh, it's going down now. I like it. But people actually like this movie. It's so funny. I will say it might be more watchable than than Freddy's Dead. That may be true. That may oh, look at the little lamb.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's definitely more watchable than Freddy's Dead.
Yeah. Oh, there's Freddy. I don't know about that effect. There he is. The man, the myth, the legend. Not digging the makeup, though. Not strong enough yet. Well, I will be soon enough. Until then.
I'll let Jason have some fun.
Yeah, like, why is he being so self-aware about it? I'll let Jason... What? Like, do they know that they're... I don't know. So far, 64 people have voted. 28% love it. 28% love it. 41% like it. 25% are meh. And 6% hate it. 6% fucking hate this movie. There's 6% of you in the chat room right now that fucking loathe this piece of shit. It's basically, I'm not calling it, that's just basically what they've said. I should have put an option as, I think it's a piece of shit.
I loathe it.
Yeah, that's what I should have put. So, in case you're just joining us, yeah, Freddy versus Jason. We're 21 minutes into the movie here. That guy right there almost kind of looks like the guy from, is it that guy? No, that's not the actor from the final, Jesus, I'm getting them all mixed up. It looks like the actor from Freddy's Dead, but it's not, I don't think. But it does resemble him.
It looks, but look, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of resembles him, though.
Yeah.
Kind of resembles him. Tranquilizer in your ass. Come on, folks. There's 150 people watching. There's only 70 votes. Don't be shy. I'm not gonna make fun of you. Maybe a little. No.
Well,
No, don't be shy.
Can you see who votes?
Yeah, I can. Well, I can't see who votes, but I can see how many people have voted. 72 people have voted. There's 152 people watching. Come on, folks. What do you think of this movie? You love it? You like it? You're meh? Or you hate it? Let's see. Don't be shy. It's all right. Freddy's just going to come and get you tonight in your dreams. Checkers. I like playing checkers. I don't mind playing checkers. We're institutionalized. We're stuck here. We're not going anywhere, man. Fucking stuck here, bro. Yeah, bro. This almost has like a bit of a Elm Street 3 vibe, you know, with the institutionalized two guys sitting in the room there. It's kind of like that a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that came out good.
Look at that ass. There you go. Takes a shit all over the glass. That'd be funny. All right, I'm going to come get you now. You want to play? We're going to play it rough. That's basically what he's thinking. Taking him to what? The padded room? Is that what they're doing? I can't remember.
Oh, shit.
Yep. A lot of rain. A lot of storm. So they escaped.
Oh.
Okay. Here we are.
It's down again.
What the hell's that guy doing? Putting fucking, what is he? Is he roofing his fucking wife? No. Are you sure you didn't see anyone? No, that's not his wife. That'd be his daughter. No, Dad. I already went over this with the police. Oh, yeah, that's right. Cody Snyder. Yes, that is John Ritter's son, isn't it? Yeah, I'm a big John Ritter fan. I love John Ritter.
Speaking of John Ritter, so I've been watching these like weird ghostly videos that are on YouTube, and I guess there was a trendy thing that was happening where a ghost would be like knocking on the door and the people would open up the door and like nobody would be there.
Right.
I was like, I made a joke. I was like, man,
Come on,
if that were me, I'd be playing the Three's Company's teams.
That's it.
That's exactly what I would do. And I bet you that's all the ghost is waiting for.
Yep.
Finally, someone gets the joke, what we're trying to do.
Yep.
There's some of them. There's some of them videos where I'm like, damn, how the because I tried to debunk that shit and I'm like, okay, I can't debunk this. It's a little too fucking freaky.
Yep. Yeah. Robert Thidoff says, yeah, John Ritter died the same year, 2003. That's right. He died, I believe, on September 11th, 2003.
Wasn't he filming his TV show or something?
He was. Yeah. Well, he wasn't. Well, he had felt unwell during a break, I think, and then he went to the hospital, and and of course he never recovered. But yeah, he was filming 8 Simple Rules. It was actually a pretty good show. It's actually a pretty good show.
When he was on it, yeah. I mean, look, David Spade did what he could. It just wasn't.
Did what he could. He did what he could. Yep.
But yeah, no, 8 Simple Rules was a good show. I liked it.
Come and shit on our floor.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was the first show that what's her name did before she then she went on to Sons of Anarchy. Peggy from Married with Children, right? Wasn't she the mom on that show?
She was, yeah. And then what's her face? The daughter went on to the Big Bang Theory.
Bang yeah. She had a nice run there.
She did. Booster Seat sends in $2, says, yo, how can I get my hands on Halloween End script? I don't know. I have no idea.
Call Blumhouse's production office.
Yeah, why don't you call Blumhouse and say, yo, I want the fucking script, and just see what they say. I mean, they might hand it to you. Like, they literally might say, okay, listen, this guy, hey, I got this email from this guy's like, yo, I want the fucking Halloween Ends script. What do you think? You think we should give it to him? Yeah, hey, Bob, you think we should give it to him? Yeah, okay, all right. And then they'll respond and be like, yeah, I'll just send it to you in a PDF. And maybe they'll do that.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
You never know.
Yeah.
All you got to do is ask.
Hey, it doesn't hurt to ask. Does not hurt to ask.
It's free to ask, just like it's free to say no.
That's it. Doesn't hurt to ask. Yeah, 100% of the shots you don't take. Wait, what does it happen? You don't succeed in the 100. Whatever the hell Wayne Gretzky said, I can't remember now. Here we are back in high school. So this girl in the hat is the one that was banging her boyfriend who was in the shower. Don't you think she'd be in like major therapy right now? But then again, I guess you could say that about all horror movie characters and some of the shit they see. Like the kids in Stranger Things would be in just a forever. I mean, you know.
Oh, are you kidding me, dude? They should be on like the highest dose of Xanax at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yep, could not agree. 102 votes are in. 32% of you love this movie. Love it. 39% like it. 20% are meh. And 9% hate it. Loathe it. Think it's a piece of shit. Here's that guy.
I only picked I love it just to.
No, I understand. This guy's like, that's some parents buried alive. Ooh, he's blaming the dad. He's getting into it. He kind of looks like Brian from the Backstreet Boys a bit.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a... No, but doesn't he though? What's his name? Brian something?
A little bit.
Just a little bit. Like maybe like you'd be like his brother, his bro.
God, when that song came out, when we were on the radio, oh my God. Like we would literally...
Looks like his dad.
Because like at our radio station, there was like our 4 other sister stations. So
Right.
Just to piss off the other DJs who were on air, we'd open up the door when the red light was on.
Yep.
Don't enter. Just
hey!
Tell me why.
Wait, Bob Shea. Oh, sorry to interrupt, but Bob Shea made his little cameo appearance. He came out, I guess, as a teacher or a principal or something. Maybe we'll see him again. I'm not sure. If we won't, it's the quickest cameo in fucking history. But you're right. Yeah, that was a bit. Well, I mean, the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, they were all huge at that time.
Yeah, we
huge.
Used to piss off the other air talent by just opening up the door as they're doing something and be like, "Tell me why."
Yeah,
and we would do it loud.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't care
enough so that the mic would pick up and hear us in the background.
Yeah,
couldn't do that today because we fucking lose our jobs.
Oh yeah. Sorry, the nurse can't help you. I like that. Just basically means what she's thinking about. Well, yeah, I guess she would be thinking about getting a breast implants because every other girl in the movie seems to have them. Oh! See, I don't like it. Looks too. That looked so computer generated.
That's Kelly Rowland.
Mm-hmm. There's John Ritter's son walking with.
She had a
Brian from Backstreet Boys' brother.
Short-lived solo career. I do like the song she does. I like the song she does with Nelly, Dilemma. That's a good tune. But that's about it. She didn't really do what Beyonce did. I mean, she's obviously she's great with Destiny's Child as as part of the group. But you kind of knew when Destiny's Child came out, we all kind of were like Beyonce, even before Beyonce went on her own, we were like, yeah, Beyonce's going to have a solo career. It's just a matter of time.
For sure.
You just kind of saw the writing on the wall. And I'm not knocking Kelly Rowland's talent, but I mean, she just,
Yeah, I get it.
It doesn't have the hits like Beyonce does.
Mark Wren sends in $2, says, you hear next Avengers film budget is $500 million? I've not heard that. Where did you hear that? I didn't even know they were doing another Avengers movie. Oh, God. So, like, tapped out of that shit. What's the source, dude? I'm not saying you're wrong, but did you hear it in one of the trades, like Variety, Hollywood Reporter, or Deadline or something like that? Let me know. That's ridiculous. Why spend that much on fuck, $500 million. I could make 500 movies with $500 million, $1 million each. It's crazy shit. That movie's going to have to make like 1.5 billion just to break even, which it probably would. Because people would go crazy, Avengers again. And they'd eat it up.
I'm pretty much checked out on all that stuff. My bro came through. My bro came through huge. He, Mother's Day.
That's right. Yeah, it was.
Chilled with mom and him. And he's got Disney Plus. So I don't even have to give the devil my money. Because he's like, dude, I'll just give you my access. I'm like, thank you. I just like despise giving any money to Disney. So when Obi-Wan comes out, I'll watch that. I ain't gonna watch any of the other shit.
Yeah. No, I get you.
Even if I'm getting free access, I'm still not gonna spend because I'm so checked out on like Marvel stuff. I'm done. Like I got my final kick with Spider-Man here recently. Good movie to go out on. Except for Batman, I'll always watch that shit. That's it's Batman.
I got you.
But yeah, I'm done with superhero.
These two should break out into a Backstreet Boys song right here. You got John Ritter's son. You got Brian from the Backstreet Boys' brother. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't. There was just a brief moment where it kind of looked like him, but from the profile, not really. It's more from the front. But is this guy having dreams of Freddy? I think he is. I think that's what he's losing it.
Do you know one of my favorite movies that deals with dreams in general, and I think did a very good job of it? Yeah. Kind of a cult classic. Not many people know this movie. Some do. Is Dream a Little Dream with Corey Haim and Corey Feldman.
Dream a little dream.
I thought the way they did the dream sequences in that movie, because it's more realistic. It's not over the top. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yes, I do know what you mean.
I always felt that Elm Street, that's kind of where Elm Street, sort of fell apart with their dream sequences as the series progressed. When you look at the original film, it's very realistic.
It is.
Even the second one, even the second one as well too.
Oh, here comes Jason. He's coming. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, that's right. They're at the fucking rave.
The Bush party.
Do people
the cornstalk party?
People still rave, but yeah, back in the day we used to cornstalk. That's what we did where I'm from. Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
You had nowhere to go, so you had to drive out to the country and go out to the cornfields.
Now this kid here on the left, I've seen him in him there. The kid, I've seen him in movies too. I can't remember what, but I've seen him in shit.
I feel like I've seen him in something pretty recently too. But now he's an adult.
Yeah.
2003.
Yeah, this is almost 20 years ago. It's hard to believe that this is almost 20 years ago. 20 years before 2003 was 1983. Elm Street didn't even exist. So think about that. Almost more time has passed in between this movie and now than Elm Street in 84 and 03. Well, yeah. Actually, both. Yeah, well, no, if you want to get really, 19 years have passed between this movie and now, where we are right now, and it was 19 years from 84 to 03. So, it's crazy to think of that. The same amount of time has passed since the original Elm Street and when this movie came out as since when this movie came out and where we are right now. It's crazy.
Time flies,
man. Crazy. Hey, a couple super chats came in. What do we got here? We got Fast Forwards 289. Thanks, buddy. Sends in $4.99. Says, what's up, D&T? Dave, you should do It's Me, Billy versus Freddy versus Jason versus Michael. Hope you're all doing well. Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Hey, by the way, congratulations on your award there, thingy. I meant
the nomination?
I meant to text you. Yeah.
The nomination. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
So,
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, we were nominated for a CSC, Canadian Society of Cinematographers. Greg, specifically, obviously being the DP, was nominated. It was his third nomination. We did not win, but it was a great night. Myself and Bruce went out to support Greg and everything. And that's a big deal. That's the CSC. That's the Canadian Society of Cinematographers. For those of you that don't know, there's a CSC, there's an ASC, which is the American, there's the BSC, which is the British. And if you pay close attention when you watch a movie, not all the time.
My personal favorite is the KFC.
It's the and then there's the KFC. There's Kentucky Fried Chicken. That was good. That was good. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. That was pretty good. But when you watch a movie, often when the director of photography's name pops up, you'll see like a little acronym beside their names. It'll say, ASC, CSC, BSC. Sometimes it'll be 2 or 3 of them, or, only one. Anyway, so the CSC is the Canadian Society of Cinematographers. And It's Me, Billy was nominated for Best Cinematography in the Dramatic Short category. And it was stiff competition. I was sitting like 15 feet away from a DP who's currently working with Guillermo del Toro. So, there were quite a few interesting people in the room, and it was really awesome to just kind of be there. And of course, you want to win, right? Of course you do. Everybody wants to win, but to be in that room amongst those people and to see the clip of our movie on the screen, and it was wild. It was great. It was a great night. We had a lot of fun, and it was great. So, I appreciate that. And thanks to everybody else, of course, who reached out and sent notes and commented on the photos and stuff. We're very proud of it and very proud of the nomination. It's a pretty big deal. So thank you to everybody. Oh, and there was another super chat here. Hang on. Let me get that. Nate A sends in $5.
I had to close down the chat room again because my Photoshop was freezing up. So I don't know what's going on.
No worries. Nate A sends in $5, says, the new Doctor Strange is a horror movie. I guess we have to thank Raimi for that. They reintroduced his style to a lot of Marvel fans. Well, that's cool. I haven't seen the movie, Nate. I probably won't see it. At least not in the theater. But that's cool. I have heard that there's a lot of horror elements to it. Oh, here's Andy Matichuk's sister running away from Freddy. Oh, throwback. That didn't even look digital. That actually looked
legit,
yeah. Was that fucking David Bowie? No. Some guy looked like David Bowie. Now, who is this girl? Is she in any, did she go off to do anything else? She must have.
She was in an episode of Smallville.
Oh, was she?
I remember seeing her pop up on Smallville. I can't remember the episode now, but...
Okay. I'm not sure. Ah, there he is. There he is.
Oh, it's too much.
Ooh, there's the man. Now see how he's being presented there? That's
legend.
There he is, Freddy. I don't like his glove, though. I don't like his glove.
He looks good here with the red light.
Yeah. The red lighting, the steam, the smoke obscuring sort of his face. It's great. Hat's okay. Hat's okay. What's his voice sound like again? Let me hear this. Oh, she's going over. Oh! Oh! Oh.
Freddy's like, I didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah, he's like,
oh, well, that's literally the reaction. He's like, wait, what?
Instead of it's a boy, it's shit happens. No,
I'm not sure what to do with this, but all right.
That's it. But I what the hell was I saying? Yeah, I don't know what she's what the hell was I saying? I was going to say something now.
We're talking about the actress, and the only thing I've seen her
Smallville, but there was something I was going to say, and then I got the glove. That's it. I was talking about Freddy. I like the way he looks in terms of like in that one scene, in that one shot. I liked, but the glove. I don't like. I don't like Freddy's. I'm old school. I'm an old fart. I know I'm no fun, kids. I'm sorry. I know I'm no fun. I'm no fun. I am. I'm not any fun. I'm such a stickler and a gatekeeper for
you like what
OG
you like.
stuff. But that's what it is, right? I'm not a big fan of how thick the knives became. And just, I don't know. I just like more of because it looks more, looks like Jason got to her first. Oh, and he's pissed. But I much prefer, I find that Freddy's glove looks too clean and neat, and I know it's dirty there, but I just mean that, I don't know, just the way the knives, the way that glove looked in the first movie, even in the second movie, and looked like something that it was created from scratch. Like you just built in a fucking garage in your basement at 105-degree weather in the middle of summer. You know what I mean? You're just sweating buckets and you're like, you know what I'm saying? This looks like he picked it up off a shelf. He's just standing there. Yeah, that's me. How tall is this guy, Ken? He's got to be 6'8" or something like that, right?
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. He is.
Probably one of the, I got to believe Derek Mears must be the biggest of all the Jasons, but
I don't know.
This guy's got to be close.
Okay, from what I understand,
the chat room will correct me that I can't see and confirm them.
From what I understand, Derek Mears is 6'7", Tyler Mane is 6'8". So
that's the Freddy versus Michael or Jason versus Michael I want to see. There you go.
Yeah.
That's WWF right there.
Look at this. Jason's on fire. There's a fire walk here. This is pretty good, pretty cool. That's a pretty big fire walk.
All for show. There was no need to light him on fire.
No, of course not. But they want to make it epic.
Ooh,
I still agree, though. One of the most intense, ridiculous-looking firewalks. Darren Sands, Slaughtered Lamb movie podcast. He was the first one to be like, "Yeah, this is totally it," or totally crazy. Was the firewalk at the end of Halloween 2? Dick Warlock. I don't think people realize how insane that is. He's engulfed. He's an inferno. You can't even. It's ridiculous.
Dick is the best.
Dick is. There you go. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
But this guy's walking. He's got the fire on him. He's pretty. He's not as engulfed as. He's not nearly as engulfed though as Dick Warlock at the end of Halloween 2. I'm just saying. Not taking anything away from this. This is great, but it's crazy. The beer's gonna put him out. Cody Snyder says 6'5". Never. Oh, he's 6'5". Really? 6'5"? He looks taller than that. If he's 6'5", then that just goes to tell you that, yeah, Kane Hodder's probably 6 foot. But if you've met, like I said, Kane, and I'm not knocking the guy. If you've met him at a convention and you're a 6 foot guy and he was 3 or 4 inches taller than you,
isn't this the Jay?
Look at those boots.
Wannabe, the Jay from Jay and Silent Bob wannabe? Don't they have that in this movie? Jay and Silent
Bob? What?
They have a wannabe Jay. Yeah, this dude.
Oh, that guy?
That guy totally.
Yeah.
I don't care what they say. That dude is totally ripping off Jason Mewes from Jay and Silent Bob.
And Mr. Blonde 90 in the chat here says, did Dick Warlock actually perform that stunt? As far as I know, yes. Yes, he did. He was a stunt guy. And as far as I know, now, just because you're a stunt guy doesn't mean you can do a firewalk, right? Some people have their specialties. But as far as I know, yes, I think he did do it. And that's one of the, I don't take any firewalk you've ever seen. Look at the firewalk at the end of part 2. It's insane. I mean, yeah, you can tell he's got, he looks like the Michelin Man because he's got the big fire, retardant suit on. But I mean, it's insane. It's engulfed. He's just it's insane. It's insane. It's crazy. It's crazy. Our poll, do you like Freddy versus Jason? 141 people have voted. 33% say they love it. 38% say they like it. 21% are meh about it. and 8% loathe it. 8% hate this movie. Oh, man.
I remember the girl I took to see this too with my brother. My brother took his girlfriend and my cousin took his girlfriend. She actually liked the movie. She didn't last very long after that.
I mean, that's what it is, right? If a girl will not watch, hey, listen, the girl doesn't have to be a horror fan, but if she ain't gonna but if she ain't gonna sit down and at least watch horror movies with you from time to time,
it ain't even worth my time.
That's it. It's over.
It's done.
You can't trust him, Lori. Lori? Ha!
Lori!
It's a Halloween reference. Father, look at this. Bet you Freddy's going to come here in a second or something. I don't know. Oh, no, he'd have to be dreaming. Look at all that beautiful fake rain pouring down. Fake rain. It's obviously real water, but I mean, it's from
What do you mean it's
rain
fake?
towers.
It's real, Dave. They waited for it to rain.
Yeah, real rain is very difficult. Actually, it doesn't
to pick up on camera.
Yeah.
Even in photography, it's like you almost have to do it in a time lapse, or like you have to really slow your shutter down.
Yeah.
To a ridiculous point to where it looks stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's true. You are fucking general practitioner. I do some consulting there now, but it's not what you think. Is her mom dead? I guess the mom's got to be dead. You know what would have been cool in this movie, though? If they had brought back, would have been way too expensive. And how do you fit it in? What do you do? I guess you could do it now. We are in the era of nostalgia, and everybody, is willing to fork over their hard-earned money for a piece of their childhood, even if it's milked to death. What would have made this movie cool is if it's Freddy versus Jason, but it's all the original cast. Maybe not from every Elm Street movie or every Friday movie, but if you could have convinced
survivors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you could have convinced like Heather Langenkamp and Mark Patton and Amy Steele cool. and or something like that. You know what I mean? That might have been kind of fun. Even if they made like cameos, something like that. That would have been kind of interesting.
Yeah, there's no way you're picking up that type of rain.
No, it's from the rain towers. Yeah. And everything it's too Another thing I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of the lighting either, obviously, but.
What do you mean, Dave? It's your blue lighting. I thought you liked your blue lighting, Dave.
Oh yeah. Going on here with Kruger. Blue lighting. Yeah. Now he does look like his father.
A little bit.
Ritter? Yeah. Yeah. A little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. I loved it. His dad was hilarious on Three's Company. I'm a huge fan of Three's Company. I admit.
You said that several times. It's a good show.
It is. It's fun. Look, it's dated. It's a farce show that's, it's from the 70s for God's sakes. But I gotta admit, it's a little bit of a kind of a comfort show. If I'm feeling a little under the weather or something, I'll pop on a few episodes. I like that show. Ooh. Did I miss any super chats? I thought I saw, what was the last super chat here? No, Nate A was the last super chat. Okay, so I got that. I got Nate A's super chat. 193 people in the chat room. How are you folks doing? Welcome.
I wish
Great to have you here.
Work.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, for those of you that might be like, Tony looks kind of distracted tonight. Well, Tony,
I'm working.
He's a busy guy.
I am working.
He is. Tony's a busy guy. He's just working on a last minute sort of thing for a client in terms of photography, and he's got to edit some photos down. But here we are. We're doing it. We're doing a couple things at once. And Tony, you're doing a hell of a job. If I didn't know any better, yeah, exactly. See, we can do it.
I'm doing a lot of this. I know, and people are like, "Is he having a stroke or something?"
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's had 9 strokes tonight.
I'm looking over images, making sure they match up.
Oh, ooh, that's interesting. Seeing himself in the bathtub, having just cut his wrists. Wait a minute. Who is that? Is that him? No.
No, it's his brother.
That's his brother. See, he looks even more like Brian from the Backstreet Boys. Doesn't he?
Does.
He does. A little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of CG in this movie. Ooh, they're kind of replicating the... Wait, was his brother supposed to be the guy from Elm Street 3? Is that why they're doing this?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Chat room will let us know. The 8% won't, because they will have they won't have any idea. But the 39% that like this movie and the 32% that love it will know the answer to that question, and they'll let us know. They will let us know. I don't think so. Maybe they're just recycling that kind of thing. Yeah, because it doesn't really look like the kid from 3 either. There's Freddy. You know, Freddy's hardly been in this movie so far. And we are 51 minutes into a 90-minute film. I'm not a big fan of the makeup.
We're already at 51 minutes?
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the makeup. Gotta say.
Freddy?
Yeah. Not a big fan of the makeup.
It looks like my silicone mask. I mean, it does.
Yeah.
It does. It looks a lot like my silicone.
Not a fan of the makeup. Not really a fan of the hat, really, either. But, you know. It's great. It's always great to see Robert in the role. Even if I don't really like the portrayal, because I much prefer the darker sort of stuff. It's always great to see him in the role. I mean, he's an icon, you know, horror legend, will forever be, you know. So yeah, for sure. Freddy's back. Oh, Freddy's back. See, that's the guy I thought was David Bowie for a minute. I was like, what the fuck is David Bowie doing in this movie? It's not David Bowie, folks. Relax, calm down. Everybody calm down.
He actually looks more like Billy Idol.
Yeah. I think that's who I'm thinking of. Yes. Billy Idol, yeah. Or Boy George. I don't know. But Billy Idol, yes. I'm a chameleon. Woo!
Dude, as a kid, I'm not going to lie, man. As a kid, one, I thought that was a girl. Two, I fucking loved that song.
Yeah, it was a great tune.
Like, I played the shit out of that.
Dude, when I was a kid, I was rocking the fucking Bangles, man.
I still rock to the Bangles.
Yes, come on.
Susanna Hoff?
Oh, wow.
Come on. Yeah.
Susanna Hoff, yes. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
Belinda Carlisle.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, nothing will ever top 80s Madonna.
Betty Davis eyes. I mean,
80s Madonna for me that's it. You know what I mean?
Like a virgin.
You know, the one time I saw her in concert, which was during my run at the radio station, we got free tickets.
Nice.
Early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so disappointed in the concert because I'm still a big 80s Madonna fan. And, you know, at that time, I don't know if you remember this, but believe it or not, some folks in the chat room might remember this, even though I can't see the responses. In the 90s, and especially late 90s, early 2000, the 80s were kind of, people didn't really know. They're like, no, the 80s are here. We're not going to, you know, like even the music wasn't being played as much.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't necessarily taboo, but it wasn't cool like it is today.
Yeah.
So with Madonna, when I saw her in concert, she did a medley of a couple of her songs, and then she only sang like one or two songs. She did Like a Virgin, and she did Papa Don't Preach. Those are the two she did in her full lengths, and then she did a couple quick medleys of some of her other hits.
Yeah, like a mixture.
She focused mostly on her music of the 90s and what was that, like her new album had come out that year in early 2000s.
Cool.
And that was it. And I was, to me, when I was excited to hear her perform all her, her bangers from the 80s. But at that time, like I said, the 80s music and the 80s nostalgia wasn't really a thing,
Right. Yep.
And music wasn't really, like I said, it was kind of considered like dorkish, you know what I mean? Like geekish a little bit to play 80s music at a club, if I was a DJ, wouldn't even touch it, with the exception of like Salt and Peppa's Push It. That might have been, or like a Run DMC song or a Beastie Boys song I could get away with. But yeah, it wasn't until about 2010, about 12 years ago, where that nostalgia of the 80s and 90s kind of revamped itself and became cool again.
Yeah, you need that. Well, you need that separation from a decade to be able to look back at it, right? We're at the scene here where that cop that looks familiar to me he's just going through a bit of exposition on what happened. And they're all like, what? What? Shouldn't we go after him first? I don't know. Maybe what we need to do is to offer Freddy a sacrifice. Yeah, totally. Like a virgin, right? Someone pure? Madonna? Like a virgin. HT sends in a $5 super chat. Thank you, HT. Says, I've talked about this film on my podcast episode, and we said they could have named the title A Nightmare on Elm Street 8, Jason Takes Springwood. Yeah, it's true, really, in some ways, because Freddy's not in it a lot, at least not yet. I know he makes, obviously there's the big battle towards the end of the movie, but yeah, that's not bad. Movie Chat and More Part 2 sends in £2 and says, D&T, do you think it would be better with Kane? No, I don't think so.
I think the fans would have appreciated it.
Well, the fans would have liked to have seen Kane in the role, but if it's the same movie and it's the same story, and if everything else is the same and Kane is doing the exact same things that what's his face was doing,
Kane would have given Jason more movement, though. I will say this: Jason, very stiff in his movements, very stiff in his just basically taking the machete and doing this. Kane brought a lot of character to Jason's movements. So there could have been a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, and there may have been. It wouldn't have made a difference to me because
you're still getting the same.
It's movie. It's the same movie, right? But it all depends on what the director wanted. I like Kane Hodder. I do. I think it's too bad that he was in all the worst Friday the 13th movies, in my opinion. Because when I think of Jason, the first image that pops into my head is Richard Brooker, Ted White, and then
for me is
Gillette and
Steve
Dash. Yeah. And so I don't ever really think of, because Kane didn't make his appearance until part 7. It was 1988 when he first made his appearance. I mean, it was way past its due date. And then, I know that 7 has its fans, 8 has its fans. Goes to Hell has its fans. Jason X has its fans. I get it. And there are a lot of people that consider him what is that? Is this fucking guy Dr. Loomis? This guy looks like Dr. Loomis. A young Dr. Loomis. Michael! All of a sudden it's Arnold Schwarzenegger in there.
You think you fooled them, Michael?
You think you... No, he's drunk. You think you fooled them. But yeah, I totally understand that Kane is a fan favorite. I think for fans, it would have been great to see him in this movie, and you would have, look at that, it's fucking Dr. Loomis's brother. You would have had that nostalgia, but I don't necessarily think it would have made the movie better, because it's the same movie. It's like, would Nick Castle being in, I don't know, part 4, would it have made the movie better? Well, it might have made Michael a bit better, but I mean,
make Michael better. Yeah, I mean, when a Nick Castle body type,
but that's not
would have been made Michael definitely better.
But that's not really an accurate, because in my opinion, comparing Nick Castle and Kane is not the same. Because Nick Castle to me is the quintessential Michael Myers. Kane is not the quintessential Jason for me, but I understand that he is for a lot of you. I do get that, and I respect that. I like Kane. Like I said, if you haven't seen his documentary, it's great shit. Let's see here. Fast Forwards 289 sends in $9.99, says, when this movie first came out, I liked it a lot, but now that I've gotten older, I don't like it as much. I don't hate it, but I just don't. But it just doesn't hit the same now. Well, it's understandable. I mean, I don't know how old you are, Fast Forwards, but in 2003, Tony and I would have been already 24. So we were already, kind of, not old, but obviously, we weren't kids, right? I could see kids really liking this movie a lot. Totally. 100%.
2003. It just seems like, because I was working at the radio station. It just seems like another lifetime ago.
It does, doesn't it? It does. It was
really
19 years.
does.
Well, think. It was 19 years ago. 19 years before 2003 was 1984.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, a lot of time has gone by. I never really liked this scene either with the little slug, and I get why he's... Yeah.
Wannabe J Muse.
Yeah. Super Chat HT follows up with $5. Thanks, buddy. Says, I love Jason Goes to Hell. I thought the film explained the mythology of Jason, which hasn't been introduced before. Also, Freddy Glove at the end. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I thought it was just an absolute train wreck. I hate Jason Goes to Hell so much. I could not. I've seen it like maybe, well, I watched it with you, Tony, maybe in the last year or so. And
what? Oh yeah, we did. We watched it for
Jason Goes to Hell.
The first time I had watched it in like 3 or 4 decades. Well, not 4, but
no,
at
yeah,
least a couple.
It was the first time I had seen it in like 20 years. Yeah. And a lot of the movies that I don't like it's not like I changed my mind. Like I haven't liked them since the get-go. So when I say that I hate Jason Goes to Hell, I hated it when I watched it when I was 14. So, it just does. I just don't think it's just, they're just silly movies now. I don't know. Oh! Turn up the volume here. Get some action going on. Whoa! Electricity. Now this is Jason's power. Jason's power. See, now electricity, I would imagine, should not affect him because he's,
That's his power.
That's his power. He's a fucking zombie now, and electricity just makes him come back to life.
It makes him stronger.
Stronger.
For the fight that's about to ensue between Freddy and Jason. They should have just had Vince McMahon make this movie.
That's it. That's it.
Could you imagine?
For sure.
Great.
For
that
sure.
would have been awesome.
Movie Chat and More Part 2 follows up with another £5. Thanks very much, buddy. Says, it's really weird to me. People are saying Michael Myers will die in Ends. I think it's contracted. The shape can never die. Well, I don't know how true that supposed Mustafa Akkad contract is, whether it's more just
the 22 movie deal.
Yeah, I've always understood it as a verbal sort of kind of thing. But also keep in mind that when people say that Michael will die, Michael Myers can die in Halloween Ends. Hypothetically speaking, if there is some sort of actual Trancas International contract that actually says Michael can never die, let's say, like it's an actual legal binding contract, okay? You can still kill Michael Myers in Halloween Ends and reboot the franchise 4 years later, 5 years later, 10 years later, and bring him back. When people say, now I can't speak for everybody, but when I say that I want Michael to die, hang on, pause right there. He cut him right in half. He cut I think that was the Muse guy, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't him. I don't know. That was great. Anyway, when I say that I want Michael to die and that I think he might die, and maybe perhaps when others say that, they're talking about the end of this storyline, the end of the story as we know it, connected to the 1978 original, right? That's what I'm hoping for, because as I've said many times, the more sequels you make, it is inevitable. You will find yourself right back where you started before you decided to axe half the franchise, or not half, 99% of the franchise. So you don't want it to go on and on and on. You want to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, something that feels sort of complete. And by all accounts, everything, and I know famous last words, but if it makes, $500 million, it's not going to make $500 million at the box office. But I do believe that the intention here, from everything that I'm hearing and sort of hearing from people that I know, is that this is the end of David Gordon Green's trilogy. This is the end of this version of Halloween as we know it. Michael, maybe he won't die. We still don't know. But I think you can kill him, yes. Hypothetically, if there is some sort of contract, you could always bring him back in some other form, or just reboot the franchise and he's alive again. I mean, so that's what I think really is
how I want Michael to die?
Jason, sorry, I was just going to say, you just cut off Freddy's arms and his arms grow back, and it's
stupid.
Sorry.
I want Michael to be chasing Allison and walking after her, and Allison is running straight, and then she makes a quick left. Michael doesn't see that she makes a quick left, and he keeps walking straight, and he just walks off a cliff.
I should just walk off a cliff into his death.
Falls down.
And the Wilhelm scream.
That's it.
The Wilhelm scream. Ah!
Yeah. Pull out the old Acme.
Yes. Yeah.
The goofy.
Oh,
No,
the goofy one. Oh, you could do that.
One. Yeah.
Yeah,
hilarious.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
That's how I want Michael to die.
Freddy and Jason are in an epic battle here.
Oh, scary.
Vince McMahon.
This is so fucking silly. Like this here,
It's
what he's
dumb.
doing to Jason.
They wouldn't have done this in the 80s. They would not have done this in the 80s.
Well, no, because but it's just it's so like I'm watching, and I get it. This is what people have come to see. This is they want to see this. I get it. It's visually stimulating for the senses, and you've come to see them battle, so you want to see them battle. But it's just so cheesy to me. It's so hokey, and it makes sense that it would be because by this point. In 2003, these characters, like I said, they were just cartoon characters by this point. Nobody takes them seriously.
I heard something, Jeepers Creepers got put on hold. The Reborn, the Rebirth, whatever.
I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about that.
Is that true?
I don't know. Maybe.
I can't see the chat room because I don't have it open. Maybe
I'm not sure. I'll let you know if they let me know. HT sends in another $5. Thank you, HT. Says, I believe that Halloween Ends needs to be the last Halloween film ever. No more Halloween films after that. I believe that every story needs to end. Well, I got to admit, I couldn't agree with you more, man. I've been
the exception of the anthology. I wouldn't mind them.
Sure.
I wouldn't mind them getting back into the Silver Shamrock, Season of the Witch stuff.
Yep. Yeah, no, I want it to end. I couldn't care less. Like, and I don't say this as somebody that's not a fan. I just say this that as a fan that feels complete. I feel satisfied. I don't need them to make Michael Myers movies forever. Like I'll be honest with you, I couldn't care less if they ever made another one. And now that doesn't mean that if they do, I'm not going to be there in line to see it. Of course I will be. But I feel complete. I have good movies. I have bad movies. I have everything in between. I feel satisfied. I feel complete as a fan.
So are you trying to tell me, Dave, you're Jerry Maguire and you complete me?
Well, I don't know if I complete you, but the series completes me. I think I just feel.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. I feel satisfied, and I'm okay with them just never making another one, and I'm okay with that. Like I am sincerely, and I don't say that to be a contrarian or to say if you want them to go on and on and on that somehow you're wrong and I'm right.
You just think the original's the best one and nothing else.
No, not at all. Oh God, here we are. Sorry, here we are. Jason looking at but he's looking at young Jason the Mask.
You ugly little shit. There's a face.
That was harsh. Damn.
That's kind of a funny line. There's a face only a mother would love. I like that. That's kind of fun.
You ugly little shit.
I know.
Damn, Freddy.
What the fuck?
Kind of harsh.
Ooh, he's going in. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of
that. I'm not a fan of this moment at all.
Yeah, it's just
it makes Jason vulnerable, which you never do.
Well, it's not. No, I was kind of thinking more of something else, but this really looks like, well, this is clearly, it's a staged. Is that his mother? He's dragging in water there?
It's just a body.
Oh, it's just a body?
And it doesn't even look like Crystal Lake. It looks like a fucking swamp here in the South.
It does. It looks like
right?
the deep swamps of Louisiana or something.
Really, it does. It doesn't even look a mirror image. Now, some of the
the effects are cool.
The Camp Dreams sequence that they do where they're at the campgrounds, that looks like Friday the 13th type camp.
Yep.
But you're right. This looks like fucking Louisiana fucking swamp water.
Yeah. It's interesting. Caleb Parkinson sends in $9.99. Thanks, Caleb. Barn from Halloween 5 is getting torn down. Woo! No, I don't. Would you guys
really?
be interested in a piece of wood from it? I'm going to cut them into turd shapes because of the dog crap movie. Love you guys and take care. Oh my God, Caleb, that's so funny. Dude, sure, why not? My address to my P.O. box is below. You can send Tony and I a piece of turd-shaped wood to that address there. That's hilarious. That's funny. The barn in Halloween 5 is getting torn down. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, why not, Caleb? And thanks for the super chat, man. I really appreciate that. Doug, 1985.
Yeah, it's sort of except with the mountains because.
Oh, you're looking at the camp here. Oh, yeah.
I know this is filmed up north, so I know it's not. But it has a little bit of that little bit of a. Oh, there's the sack.
I'm gonna tell you right now that looks like British Columbia.
Yeah, no, it definitely does.
It looks like Canada. It looks like BC. Yeah, for sure. This is so silly. Like this. So is this how you pictured it? Like, of course, Freddy's. When you used to think of Jason being teased and going off into the waters, you just look over to the counselors that are just on the. I know it's Freddy manipulating the dream and it's not to be taken seriously, but it's just funny. It's just funny. But I will say this.
I did like the callback of the sack though. I remember in the movie theater going, hey, they brought back the sack for a split second.
And I will say this. I am enjoying what now that doesn't mean I like the movie. I'm enjoying what I find it more entertaining. Take that to mean whatever the hell you want. I find this
with everybody.
That could also be part of it, but I am finding this movie more entertaining than Freddy's Dead. I'll tell you that. Freddy's Dead is a gigantic dumpster fire. Oh my God, it's terrible. It's almost unwatchable for me. Like, sincerely, it's almost unwatchable. Anyways, Doug, 1985. Thanks, buddy. Sends in $4.99. Says, hey, Michael did die in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, so he can die in ends. Did he die at the end of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2? Yeah, I guess he did. But that's my point, right? And I don't know if that's just something that I don't know for sure, to be honest with you. I haven't looked into it with any seriousness, whether that was something Mustafa Akkad said, shooting from the hip as sort of a satirical thing. Like, obviously, with all due respect to Mustafa Akkad, okay, this was a huge breadwinning thing for Mustafa Akkad. It's not like he had, anything else that was really doing that for him in the big picture. It was a moneymaker for him. I mean, sometimes it made money, sometimes it didn't, but he could always go back to that well every few years and reap something out of it. So, whether he's being serious or like there's actually a physical binding legal contract, who knows?
Well,
only his father knows that.
If he's still
or
being
his
serious,
son.
then he's doing some serious haunting.
Yeah, exactly. And you'd have to speak to Malik and whether that actually exists or it was just a wish, right? It's a verbal thing and maybe his son's just carrying it on or whatever. But, listen, at the end of the day, contract or no contract, Michael Myers, that's a cool shot. That's a cool shot there. I will say.
That is a cool shot.
It's a cool shot.
Freddy coming out
and the
of
way
water.
the way he looks there is really cool too.
Yeah.
Good old demon Freddy. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, for sure. I always I like it. But it looks very, of course they're on a set. It's, it is what
Is that the Elm Street house? No.
It says 1428, but that looks nothing like the Elm Street house.
It looks nothing like the Elm Street house.
Looks literally nothing. Well, no, not nothing. I will, hang on, I will give credit where credit is due. Halloween 5's Myers house looks nothing like the Myers house.
It looks like it's remodeled.
It looks like it's remodeled. This Elm Street house, if it is supposed to be the same one, maybe it was remodeled. Okay, I could buy that because it's the same kind of house. It's the same kind of house. It's got some similarities. And I'm like, okay, maybe it was remodeled. They took away they did the porch, whatever. But yeah, the Myers house and the Halloween 5 house, is not the same house. But anyway, yeah, so what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, at the end of the day, Michael Myers, like Freddy, like Jason, are iconic, proven money-making characters. And that essentially is why Michael will live on in some form, I'm sure, in the years to come. But that doesn't mean that we should be afraid of completing a story and killing. I do think it is time to end the 1978, connection, bring it to an end. It's not that stories end, it's how they end. And I do believe you can end it on a really awesome note that allows, that, respects the fans,
Dave,
respects the audience. There's a lot of people that do, but that respects the audience, doesn't insult them, and makes you feel complete. And you're like, that was great, and then 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, whatever, if they want to reboot it and tell the story again, okay, great, fine. But yeah,
I hope they do.
On.
I mean, I don't know if it's serious or not, but and I know Blum's response was kind of very passive, but I do hope they go down the season of the witch route. There's a lot you can do with it.
There is,
considering they've only done one movie.
Yeah. Hang on, we got action. We got action here.
Welcome to my world, bitch.
I like that line.
Bitch.
Yeah. I like that line. Got some nice reverb on it. Makes it sound, it's processed, obviously, but it's a good line. And the battle that's happening here, well, there was a battle happening here between Jason and what's-her-face. See? You can't tell me Freddy's not a fucking pervert.
Totally.
I'm telling you, he is. He absolutely is.
That's why I love him so well.
Yep. It's Jason. Oh, this bad. Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of Freddy versus Jason in this movie.
Really two fights. There's the dream sequence fight, and then down here at
and then we're getting to the climax here in a second. Yeah, that's right. It's coming up. Yeah, it's true. But yeah, I mean, it's it is what it is. Let's check in on our poll. So our poll, we have 207 votes. And 32% say they love this movie, 39% say they like it, 22% are, whatever, and 7% hate it. So the vast majority of this people like this movie in some form. You have 39%, that's basically 40%, really like it. And then 32% love it. So there you go. Here's what it is. Oh, they're fighting. I gotta turn this fucking shit up. What the fuck? Got some rock music happening here. Not my style, but it is what it is.
He just tosses him like a rag doll.
They need the Wilhelm scream in here. They really need the Wilhelm scream in here. They do. They need it in here. That's what they need. Let's see here. I got that. Okay, I went back a little too far here. Fast forwards 289 sends in $9.99 of a generous super chat. Thanks, buddy. Says, I'm 27. Oh, well, that explains it then. So in 2013, three, not 13, 3, you would have been like 5, or whatever. Or no, not 5, it was 19 years ago. So 8, would have been 8 years old.
He was a little kid.
So yeah, that makes sense, right? I was only 3 years younger than you are now in 2003. So that makes sense. But he says, I'm 27. One thing I never understood in this movie is they say and show Jason afraid of water, but he's been in water in almost every Friday movie at some point. Always thought that was funny. Yeah, that's a good point. I never really noticed that. That's a good point. Good observation there. Fast forwards. Oh, Freddy's contemplating. See, they're showing too much of Freddy.
Dark, fresh meat.
And dark meat.
Dark meat. You definitely could not get away with that today.
Nope.
No way.
Nope.
Not that line.
Nope. Be like, oh no, Freddy's! You can't. Freddy's racist. No, it's a line. It's just playing on the fact that we're white and she's dark, and it's just we're just having fun. It's just silly. That's all it is.
We're not allowed to have fun anymore, Dave.
There's no nuance anymore. It's all gone. All gone. You trying to compensate for something? Maybe coming up a little short between the legs, Mr. Kruger? I mean, you got these teensy weensy little things. I love how she's just fucking giving it to him. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up, bitch. Oh! Hey, they teamed up there a little bit. A little bit of a team up there. You know, she was insulting Freddy, and then Jason was like, hey, listen, I'm the only one that can fucking insult him, okay? It's kind of like what it felt like there, because then he's like, look, she turns around, there's Jason.
Now, could you imagine for a moment
a team-up movie? Ooh.
No, if Rob Zombie had directed this. This movie would be crazy intense if Rob Zombie directed
Well, not
this.
just intense, the language in this movie.
Would be nuts.
Oh my God, the expletives would just be crazy. Like, what is Freddy doing here? He's literally elbowing Jason. Like, this is the kind of shit I watch.
That's it. This is WWF.
Look at this. I know. And I know this is what fans come to watch. I get it. But it just looks so silly to me. He looks like a clown. Freddy is a fucking clown. You know, and again, I don't say that as any disrespect to Robert Englund. I love Robert Englund. Like I said, my favorite is part 1, part 2. You know, I love him in those movies. I know, Dave, shut up. You gotta move on, Dave. Gotta move on. I know, I understand. But I don't have to like it.
Fire the torpedoes.
Yeah, it really does kind of look like a Looney Tunes cartoon. Like you said, that's literally what I feel like I'm watching. I feel like I'm watching Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. You know, there's no stakes like in terms of like if they can't die, just I guess. But again, to my point earlier. Well, Dave, you even said yourself, by 2003, that's what these characters were. They were caricatures of themselves. They were cartoons. Yep. You know, so yes, it makes sense that you're going to have a movie that is like the Roadrunner and the fucking Coyote. I mean, that's what you have here. So, I mean, in horror form.
Imagine.
So, yeah, I get it.
I got to imagine, and I have to believe, if I were to have been there and I'm able to sit down and look at Robert and say, bro, are you really feeling this? I can't believe that he would have been. I can't believe that this is how he would want to portray this fight between him and Jason.
You know what?
Don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I think Robert Englund, and Darren Sands of the Slaughtered Lamb mentioned this too, and I think he's right. I think maybe not all, obviously, because it's in the writing, it's in the directing, but I can't help but feel that maybe some of the whimsical, flamboyant, crazy direction that Freddy was taken, it could be partly because of Robert, perhaps. Maybe he had, maybe. I mean, maybe not everything, but maybe there's a little bit of he wanted to explore the character more, or maybe he had some insights and some ideas and of what to do. It's entirely possible. I mean, you know, Robert's favorite film, I think he said, is the fourth one or something like that.
Yeah, I think the fourth one.
You know, I mean,
I think he calls that the MTV.
Yeah, and it makes sense why. And again, I mean, I get there are people that love this version of Freddy. I get it. Hang on a second. We're coming to the end here. I got to. Oh! We're getting the gasoline ready. Oh! I like the blood spraying out of his chest. That's great. That looks practical. I don't know if it is, but it looks practical. Ooh. Yeah, it is. I'm definitely watching a Roadrunner cartoon. Yeah,
it is
for sure. And you know what? Like I said, people love it. It's kind of fun. But
yeah, no.
And his sweater is darker too.
It is.
Freddy's sweater looks darker, like darker red. Almost looks like I'm watching two people cosplaying as these characters.
Like I would do for a photo shoot or something.
Fighting after a drunken party at a camp. You know, almost kind of like that a little bit, but
yeah.
But like I said, I get the appeal, and I certainly find this movie way more entertaining than Freddy's Dead and Jason Goes to Hell.
And Jason Takes Manhattan.
And Jason yes.
And Jason X.
Yes. But that doesn't mean that I think the movie's good, because I think those movies are awful. So, again, it's like, it's marginal, right? It's relative. Yeah, you have to, yeah. Oh, Freddy's arm has just been unleashed. Not unleashed, I mean, removed from his body. Movie Chat and More, Part 2 says, do you guys think Creed 3 will flop without Sly? No, I don't think so, actually. I'm glad Sly's not going to be in Creed 3, because because his story is complete. His story was complete at the end of Rocky Balboa. Yeah, it was a great ending. And then they figured another way to do it at the end of Creed 2 with him going back to his son. Okay, well, leave it there. Don't bring him back. Creed's got to be able to stand on its own, right? You've passed the torch. Daddy's helped you out of the nest. Now you got to go. Doesn't mean the movie's not going to flop or it's going to be great, but you got to let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. Epic explosion. Oh! Rocket it. The epic explosion, and then, of course, if memory serves, and this is like one of the only things I remembered from this movie before watching this movie again, is Jason walks towards the camera with Freddy's head in his hand, and Freddy winks, and that's kind of the end of the movie.
Yeah,
it's kind of like,
there's not really a definitive winner.
No, not
everybody's happy.
Yeah,
the Jason fans are happy. The Freddy fans are happy.
Yeah, that's right. You got to have, and then, but you'll have like the Jason fans going, yeah, but he fucking teared him up, man. He fucking tore up Freddy the boys. But how do you destroy a dream demon at the end of the day? Oh, I can hear Xena barking. She's backing, as they say in Boston. Backing. Not too far from the car. There he is. Oh, it's Freddy. I like how you thought it was Jason because of the machete. Oh. What the hell was that? At least they didn't do like a Godzilla versus King Kong 1960s film thing where they both fall into the water, but then only one rises.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? Kong.
They could. Oh, he stabs him with his own glove. Oh, the CGI. Now that's practical, you can tell, but the CGI with the actual stab just didn't look very good. That's why I didn't know what the hell it was. Oh, wait a minute. So it's not. Now, hang on a second here. She's the one that cuts off his head. It's not even fucking Jason.
She delivers the final blow.
Well, wait a minute.
So Jason gets the final blow with the glove, and then she decapitates Freddy. And then
but here's the thing. Without her decapitation, would Freddy have died? I mean, it looks like because it's through the heart, quote unquote, but would Freddy have died? Or would Freddy have just pulled out his arm and fucking attached it again or something and then he would have won. He actually would have won. Ooh, that's a debate right there. I haven't seen this movie in like fucking 19 years.
Jason fans are going to come at you like, no, Dave, that's not how it happens.
Well, no, but I'm kind of curious. I'm like, well, hang on a sec. I always thought that Jason was the one that decapitated Freddy Krueger. I was wrong. If you had asked me, look, listen, if I was on Jeopardy and this was a Jeopardy question, I totally would have been like, what is Jason or who is Jason Voorhees? That's what I would have said. I would have lost. I would have been like, I totally would not have made it to Final Jeopardy. Interesting. So technically, like, did Jason? Well, no, I guess it's the way it is, folks. The way it is. And here's the final shot. Jason coming out of the water. Yeah. I will say it's a cool last shot. I will say.
Yeah.
I like the lighting. I like how it's kind of feels
like a lake and not a fucking swamp.
Correct. But it feels more like a foggy early morning kind of thing. And he's got his head. But the wink is like, here it comes. Like, I like that shot. of Jason there. It's a good shot. Yeah, it's just
stupid.
Totally. Oh, man. There it is. Directed by Ronnie Yu. Ladies and gentlemen, that was 2003's Freddy versus Jason. Did you watch it? Did you love it? Oh, produced by Sean Cunningham. Oh, well, there you go. Good old Sean. Hey, if you're watching after the fact and you've made it this far, comment below and let Tony and I know your thoughts on Freddy versus Jason. Where would you rank it amongst the movies? Is it your favorite? Is it not your favorite? Tell us your story about the first time you saw it. Whatever you have fun in the comment section below down there and interact with each other. Let's check the poll. The poll's still going. 235 people have voted. And the question was, do you like Freddy versus Jason? So let's end the poll now. Here we go. We're gonna end the poll, and we're gonna get the final result. The final results here are gonna show up here in a second. The final results, there they are, ladies and gentlemen, for everybody to see. 235 people of you have voted. Do you like Freddy versus Jason? 40% of you said I like it. 30% of you said I love it. 22% of you were meh, which means like, whatever. And then I hate it. 6% of you were I hate it. There are 6% of people in the chat room right now which are not going to make themselves known for fear of backlash that hate this movie. A pretty interesting poll. We should do more polls. We should do more polls on our shows.
We should.
We absolutely should.
I concur.
Yes. All right. Let's go over to the chat room and see what you guys are saying. I believe I got all the super chats up to that. No. So there's still some here I didn't get. Okay. There's still some here I didn't get. Okay. Let me go back. The Creed from Movie Chat and more. Caleb Parkinson sends in $4.99 and says, also, the house next to the barn in H5 just sold for $1.7 million. It's just down the road from my house. My parents used to live there before production began, probably is what it is.
It'd be kind of cool if he sends you a few pieces of the barn. That'd be kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Send it to me, man. My address to my P.O. box is
I don't have
below.
a P.O. box, but send it to Dave.
Send it to me.
Get it to me.
And I will get it to Tony. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a piece of the barn from Holland. That
might be kind of fun. Might be kind of fun. You never know. Movie Chat and More sends another £5. Thanks, Movie Chat. Says, Donald was the guy who said he'd stop at 22, and Akkad said, I'll go along with that. I do remember Donald Pleasance saying that. Yes, I do remember saying that. I think he said that somewhere around the shooting of Halloween 5 or Halloween 6.
Sounds
somewhere
like
in
Donald
and around
was
there.
saying that on a drunken night.
But Donald's not being... Listen, fans take things so literally and seriously. Donald Pleasance, look, whether he was serious or not, who knows, okay? But at the end, do I believe that if Donald Pleasance had been younger, that he might have continued to make them? Sure, perhaps, okay? But at the end of the day, look at the number that Donald Pleasance chose, 22. It's a silly number, right? It's a stupid number. He's being satirical, right? No,
Dave, he's being serious.
I know, but people think that, and it's like he's playing on the fact that there's so many of these sequels. And Donald Pleasance himself even said that it was either part 5 or part 6, where he said that it was, quote, rubbish. Okay, so he's playing on the, for my American friends that don't know what that means, it's a British word for dog shit. Okay, it's garbage. I mean, he came out and said that, I think it was 6. It might have been 6, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I know he died before, the movie was released, but it was 6 or 5 where actually it might have been 5. Anyway, where it's just rubbish. And he's just playing on it, man. He's like, now I'll continue to do these things till 22, and then I'll stop. He's playing on the fact that it's ridiculous. That's what he's doing, so whether he's serious or not. And then, like Movie Chat and More said, Akkad probably glommed onto that. I was like, yes, I'll do that as well, and whatever. I doubt there is an actual binding contract. I could be wrong. Malik, prove me wrong. But there is a binding piece of paper that says, Michael Myers shall live to 22 films, and it is signed and it is legally binding, and anybody who dare breaks this rule shall be thrown into prison. And get the fuck out of here. Stop taking it as gospel. I mean, please.
What are we up to now? 12, 13?
13 with Halloween Ends.
with Michael, right? Not counting part 3.
No. 13. I believe it. I believe that doesn't. Yeah. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 Rob Zombie. 1. Yes, it is 13, including Halloween 3.
So we're at 12 right now. So we're just past the halfway mark. We got
just past the halfway mark. That's it.
we got 9 more to go.
That's it. HT sends another $5. Thanks, buddy. Says, I don't like how they Jason like sort of good. I think how they made Jason sort of a good guy, which I didn't like. They need to make Jason evil, just like Freddy, so there is no remorse for the two. Yeah. I just think the idea of them fighting each other is just ridiculous. I just don't like the idea of them doing it. And I guess if you're going to do it, if you're going to have two people fighting, I guess in some sort of way, naturally, when you're writing a story like this, you at the very least will probably make at least one of them the anti-hero or something like that. I think Jason's story is easier to be at the very least empathetic about, because he's the kid that was made fun of, that drowned in the water. He was that, what do they call it? Mog, or whatever they call those, he was deformed, right? Maybe a bit simple-minded. So he's an easier character to feel sorry for. Freddy, I mean, Jesus, he's a child murderer. And, like I've always said, it's not too far of a stretch to think that he wasn't doing something a little more. Even though I know they didn't, I'm just saying, come on. He's specifically a little child murderer. He loves all these little girls, but he doesn't have any sort of, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I get the reason why they've never really kind of steered in that direction. Kind of hard to sell Halloween costumes to little kids when it's like, hey, come be your favorite child molester. I mean, it's kind of hard to do. But I will say that, I think naturally Jason's backstory is easier to be empathetic for, whereas Freddy's backstory, not so much. So, it kind of makes sense why, and he doesn't talk either, right? So, you don't know what he's thinking, and you can play on sort of the sad body language and, whatever. I get it. I get why you feel that way. All right. And then super chat from Howard D sends in $5, says, final product aside, how do you feel about the general premise of this film? The idea that Freddy resurrects Jason to make Elm Street remember him. It works. It works. I mean, I don't feel anything. I just got to be honest with you. I just don't feel anything. I think there's 50 ways you could have done it, and that's one of them. So that's what they did. That's kind of how I feel about it. Yeah. I don't feel any emotional attachment to it or anything like that. Let's see here. It's Nate A sends in $5 and says, people wanted Michael in this movie, but it's not just that story-wise it makes no sense, but he wouldn't even be strong enough to contend with them. I agree. I agree. Totally. I mean, I guess it depends on which Michael you're talking about, but I think objectively speaking, I don't think Michael really stands a chance against Freddy or Jason. What, really. Dave? I mean, they're both two supernatural zombie demons. I mean, it's kind of, he doesn't even really fit in their world in some respects. Mark Wren, $2 says, was Marilyn Monroe a fast gal all around the city? It's a funny question. Do you mean, was she a hoe? Is that what you mean? Was she somebody that slept around? She definitely, listen, we know she had affairs with Bobby Kennedy and Robert Kennedy. Excuse me, that's the same person, with Bobby Kennedy and John Kennedy. We know that obviously there was whether the Kennedys knew about what happened and how she was murdered. That's a deep dive. That's a fascinating story. We know that it's kind of a sad story as well.
Hanging up right there, I got a really cool Marilyn poster. She's got a cigarette in her mouth and she's playing a guitar.
Nice,
pretty
nice,
really sexy pitch. She was
hot. But she was also, when you
unfortunate thing for her is that she was very much a hopeless romantic and ended up with douchebags.
But not just that, she ended up in Hollywood in the 60s, 50s, 60s. And, she was taken advantage of. I mean, she was naive. Yeah. She was naive.
Yep. and like I said, she was an old-fashioned hopeless romantic.
Yeah.
Really wanted to be in love, wanted to have kids, all that whole thing. And the DiMaggio marriage didn't hurt her as much as who was the writer she ended up marrying that she really was in love with, and that dude just treated her like a fucking rag doll.
I can't remember.
Treated her like so much. I can't remember his name now, but he was a big time writer. I'm sure someone in the chat room will be able to pop it up. That dude was a fucking douche.
But I'll tell you this though, I don't believe she overdosed or anything like that.
No, I don't believe that either.
100% murdered for sure. Yeah. And I hate to say it, but it could also have something to do with how close she was to both Bobby and John. The information she knew and she had. It's a very sad story. I feel sorry for her in a lot of ways. When you really die, a lot of people who don't know the story of
36.
She was only 36. And a lot of people that don't know the story of Marilyn Monroe often just kind of have that one image of her, like, with the skirt flying up, or, you think, Miss Happy Birthday,
she was a lot more than
Mr.
that.
President, and all this kind of, but I've watched a couple of movies that she's been in. And yeah, she has that little bit of that, she certainly had a way about her. But when you watch a couple of documentaries that do a few, some deep dives into her past, you kind of learn more about her and who she was and the naivety that she had. And was she promiscuous? Yeah, probably. A lot of people were, a lot of people still are.
You'd be surprised if you actually go down the rabbit hole of the women from back in the golden days of Hollywood.
Yeah.
People like to think about how I wish we can go back to when times were more innocent. They weren't that innocent. Trust me, they weren't that innocent. What was the chick from Gone with the Wind? What was her name?
I know.
I almost said Scarlett Johansson, but
it's you're on the
Scarlett was the name of the character.
Vivian Leigh.
Yeah, Vivian Leigh. Vivian Leigh got around.
Listen.
Vivian Leigh got around.
Just because it's the 50s, the 40s, 50s, come on, people are still human. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know, actually, of all of the girls from that time frame, do you know, I love Audrey, Marilyn looks great, but do you know the one that dude, anytime I see young, even video clips of her, before she dyed her hair red, Anne Margaret.
Oh yeah,
that girl back in when she's in the early 60s and when her hair is black. Oh my God. If I had to carve out my ideal wife, that is it. Is literally God, creator, whoever you believe in, just said, I'm going to create the perfect person, and here she is.
There it is.
Not only that, but her talent alone, her singing and her expressions when she sang, she was just a very talented, artist, Anne Margaret. Then when she dyed her hair, I was like, I'm not really feeling that. Didn't feel the dye so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Riker H sends in $2 and says, did you see the new Avatar 2 teaser today? I did, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's just a teaser trailer, of course. They also released...
I didn't even know it was out. I was working today.
Yeah, they released, it's called Avatar: The Way of Water. And the teaser was released today with a teaser poster, of course. I thought it looked great. And just like clockwork, of course, as soon as it's released, everybody and their uncle, all the Avatar haters come out and recycle the cliches they've been saying. It's Ferngully in space. It's Dances with Wolves. It's this, it's that. Nobody cares. No one's any original. I mean, it's like clockwork. It's like, God, guys, try not to be so predictable.
Nobody cares, and yet everybody will be at the theater watching it whenever it comes out.
Do not sleep on James Cameron. I've been saying that for years. And look, if you genuinely dislike Avatar, you didn't like it, it didn't do anything for you, you don't care about it.
I've just never seen it, so I can't say anything. No, I have no fight in the argument.
For sure. But if you are somebody that genuinely doesn't like it, that's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the issue I take is when I see people glom onto groupthink and start using buzzwords that everybody else is using. And nothing tells me more that there is no telltale sign more that you are sort of just, I don't know, following the trend of what's hip than saying what everybody else is saying. you know, and there's no original thought. There's no, you know, everyone's like, it's not original. And like I always say, do you know how many stories, how many movies you love that are not original? There's about 7 stories that can be told. Star Wars ain't original either, right?
Music
it's
is
not
the same way, dude. You know how many songs have been remade?
That's what I mean.
How many hooks have been taken to be used in other
songs?
Of
course. It's what it is. James Cameron took a story that's been told before, right? A premise that's been told before, and introduced us in a new way of telling it. That's what Star Wars did. That's what, you know, that's what comic books do. You know, there's like in terms of the themes and the love and the loss and, you know, whatever the theme of the movies are, redemption, hero's journey, you know, I mean, whatever the case is, stories have been told many times over. And listen, if you tell me that, you know, Avatar is Dances with Wolves, but in space, I'm like, count me in. Let's do it. And he delivered technology that ceased to exist before Avatar, the cameras they used, and he's done it again with Avatar 2. The cameras they used, the motion capture, the technology they used to mocap in actual water. Okay, so the water you see in the movie is real water.
Didn't Kate Winslet do a scene like that or some shit?
Kate Winslet's in the movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Has never been done before in the history of film. As far as like the technology they're using is going to be used for generations to come. Listen, yes, I get it. I understand that people are like, an Avatar. I understand it. That's fine. But for Christ's sakes, if the hill you're going to die on is it's just not original, then there's a ton of movies on your shelf you got to go throw out. Okay, I'm just saying, like,
music too,
you know, music as well. So it's a common story with common themes that we've seen before, but not in this way. And I thought Avatar was a technological marvel. I enjoyed it, the best 3D I've ever seen in my life. And I'm somebody that doesn't like watching movies in 3D. Every opportunity I get to go to a movie theater and see it in standard 2D, any movie, I will be there in standard 2D. But Avatar was built for 3D. It was shot for 3D.
So how would you suggest someone like me who's never seen it to watch it?
You can watch it in 2D and still get the experience. 100%. But it was some of the best 3D I've ever seen because it was built for that. That's what it was made for that. It's not a movie that was shot and then 3D transferred. You know, it was made for that.
Come out right around when Cameron re-released Titanic on 3D? Remember there was a re-release of Titanic?
I don't know. Avatar was 2009. Avatar was 2009. Titanic's 10-year anniversary would have been 2007. So maybe it was in around that time.
Yeah, so it was around that time. Okay.
Maybe. But listen, hey, if you don't like the movie, you don't like the movie. But I just roll my eyes when I see nothing but the same thing. Like, is that all anybody's got? Ferngully in space. Dances with Wolves means this. It's unoriginal. Is that it? Is that it? Okay, are you done? Like, is that it? You know, because you know, it's just the same shit over and over again. We know it's Ferngully. Okay. Anyway,
I've never even seen Ferngully.
Yeah, so. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. So is Dances with Wolves, for God's sakes.
I've never even seen that.
Fuck. Star Wars is basically Dune. Like, I mean, you know, can we, you know, I mean, not, you know, but there's a lot of parallels. And Dune came before Star Wars. You know, Raiders is the swashbuckling fucking serials that you saw on TV in the 30s. I mean, you know, come on. Anyway, I digress. But yes, I did see it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. And I can't wait for the movie. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I don't want to sleep on James Cameron, man. Don't sleep on him. And if you think nobody cares about it, maybe nobody in your circles, maybe nobody on your social media feeds that are just recycling the groupthink that you're used to. But if you think that Avatar is not going to be $1 billion movie, you know, I mean, is it going to make 2.8 billion like the original did? Probably not. We're in a different world now. It's a different time. People are into different things. But if you think Avatar is going to only gross like, you know, 300 million at the box office, you're nuts. You're nuts, especially when it opens in China. China, right. You know.
China.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like it.
I'll probably rent Avatar and finally maybe we'll do a watch. Maybe, is it like a 5-hour movie?
3-hour movie.
All right, so maybe we won't.
Yeah.
So I'll have to watch that on my own then and let you know what I think.
Yeah.
Because I'll probably want to see this new one and
it's good.
Whatnot. I don't know why I didn't go and see it the first time. It just
well, what's so
I'm finicky with movies. You know.
Yeah.
There's just some movies you know, I'm just like, it didn't catch my interest at that time, for whatever reason, you know, like there's so many.
It's a good look. It's
seen.
Avatar is
but I'm not going to hate on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nobody's denying that it's, you know, it's not a common theme or a common story. And yeah, it is, but it was such a beautiful movie. It was so cool. And the ideas, you know, was really neat. As James Cameron, like he delivers common populace. And when I say populace, I mean movies that sort of, you know, appeal to everybody. Right. You know, it's great. It's great shit. It's great shit. And, so yeah, I mean, I can't, and the thing that I'm looking forward to the most, like I said, is that, and I stand to be corrected on this, but the technology, like I said, they've used in this movie, is really cool. With the mocap in the water and shit like that. Like that's stuff that just,
like I said, I've seen still images of Kate Winslet in the water doing some shit, you know, and that, like, you know, right in itself, you know, well, one, it's cool to see James and Kate working together again. I would have been more excited if they got Leo involved. That would have been like, all right,
hey,
I'm there.
He's doing 4 more Avatar films, so there's still a chance.
You never know.
You never know.
Kate and Leo reunited.
You might. You might.
Underwater, pun intended.
That's it. That's it. Okay, let's move on here. Let me see here. Oh boy, we got a lot of them. Avatar 2, and then Caleb Parkinson sends in 499, says my aunt told me there was porno shot in the barn in the 60s and 70s. That's so funny. So really, what shape do you want the piece of wood? Ha ha ha. That's great. That's awesome. I wouldn't
care if it's just like a little tiny piece, like a little, you know, like just
a little piece of wood. Just whatever. I don't care. It doesn't
have to be shaped or anything.
Whatever. Just break it off and mail it. Jordan Christie sends in 499, says, hey, D&T, do you remember how you feel back in the day? Do you remember how you felt back in the day when this movie was announced? What were your thoughts going into for the first time? I'm assuming Jordan means Freddy versus Jason. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, it was nearly 20 years ago when it came out. I guess it would have been announced probably in around 01 or 02. I don't know. I have no idea. I had just started my career working in the biz.
I was a few years in working at the radio station, so I was probably really focused in on that. And
I don't remember.
You know, I had just moved down to Atlanta. I had been down here for a couple years at that point.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember how. Like I said, I honestly think it was just a scenario because my brother was here because he was living in South Carolina at the time, and he was here with my cousin and their 2 girls. And a girl I was seeing at the time as well too. And I think it was just kind of one of those things where like I might have just had woken up from, you know, doing a club gig, and club gig meaning like I would do a mix show live. We would broadcast live from a club. And it was just kind of one of those, like, not doing anything and brothers in town. And like, you want to go, and where we were living was in an apartment complex right near the AMC movie theater. Like literally we could have walked to it.
Right.
And so it was just kind of one of those things where it was just like, we're not doing anything. You want to go see Freddy versus Jason. Like, it wasn't like, we gotta go see Freddy versus Jason. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, all right, we got nothing to do. Let's
it was kind of like that.
I think it was even like a rainy day too. I think that was the reason why. It was just like one of those, like, we ain't doing shit, let's go.
Yeah. Same, really. I don't really recall. Movie Chat More Part 2. 2 pounds says, take Smith's Oscar away from him. Nah, I don't. Look, I mean, if you take it away from him, there's Will Smith and his Oscar and the slap. You take the Oscar away. If you take Will Smith's Oscar away from him, you're going to have to take quite a few Oscars away from quite a few people. So that just opens up a whole can of worms. Kevin Spacey, Roman Polanski, Woody Allen. I mean, you know, where does it stop, right? And I'm not saying that you don't do that. I'm just saying that it doesn't just stop with Will Smith, right? It's like, well, if Will Smith gets his Oscar taken away from him for slapping, should Roman Polanski get his Oscar taken away from fucking a 13-year-old? Like, I don't know. Like, you tell me. I mean,
where does it end?
Where does it end? Right. And the answer would, you know, inevitably be like, yeah, you know, I think she was 13. No, that's Woody. Was that Woody? I always get them mixed up.
Polanski's got some shit, some dirt on him as well too.
No, he does.
He can't come back into the States, right?
Right. Correct. Woody Allen. I don't know if it was was it 13 or was it 15?
Woody always liked him.
She was, yeah, one of them. But I stand to be correct on the age of the girl with Polanski and Woody Allen. I can't remember now.
Polanski killed someone inadvertently or by mistake.
Maybe.
He killed his wife. Thank you.
Well, they believe there's a possibility.
So that's what he's charged for. And I think you're thinking of Woody Allen.
Well, Woody Allen, yes, but I thought there was something a little strange with Polanski as well. And
you
girls.
could be right. I mean, it's Hollywood.
Yeah. Woody Allen, definitely. We know of his thing with young. We know that. That's out there.
Didn't he marry like a 15-year-old or something?
Yeah, and it was like his fucking like cousin or niece or something weird like that. It was something weird like that. Anyway, the point we're making here is that if you take Will Smith's Oscar away for a slap,
then you got to start going down.
What do you do? Like, where do you go? Right? Like, what, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
DiCaprio sitting there smiling is like, I keep him at 21.
That's it. That's it. B, just a letter B. Letter B. Sends in $5. Says, Dave and Tony, I'm looking forward to a 2 dudes and some bullshit hate mail video. Been a fan since about 2018. Good stuff, guys. Keep it up. We actually don't get a lot of hate mail. So that's good. No, that doesn't mean there aren't a lot of people out there that hate us, but they haven't sent us hate mail. So that's good. That's good.
No.
Let me see. Howard D sends in $2. Says there's a guy buried face down above Monroe's crypt. There's a guy. Okay, let me try this again. There's a guy's buried face down above Monroe's crypt.
Marilyn Monroe's crypt. I heard there was some controversy.
What the heck is he? I don't understand.
But I also heard there was some controversy regarding her burial site because she's Jewish and
I've been to her burial site, and
she's not buried in a Jewish mausoleum or whatever.
No, she's in a. I've been to her too. I wonder if I can bring up a photo. It might be too hard for me to bring it up on.
But she is Jewish, right?
I don't know.
Controversy because of that because she wasn't buried in a mausoleum.
You may be right. I'm not sure. But I actually, when I was,
I could be wrong on the term and I apologize if someone's Jewish and it's not the proper.
You don't have to apologize. Whatever, you got it wrong. Who cares?
I always get shit wrong.
Yeah. The last time I was in Los Angeles, which was 2019, my girlfriend and I went over to. I think she's buried in the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe that's not the name of it. Anyways, it's the one. I think it's off Sunset maybe or one street over. Anyway, we went there and she's buried there. Well, she's not buried. She's in like in the wall, right? Like in a tomb. And she's next to Hugh Hefner. So that's where she is. At least that's where her marker is. She's the first Playmate, right? I think so. But Hugh Hefner also had a soft spot for her too. Anyway, he probably banged her 500 times. And,
probably a
but I've been there. I've seen it. I've seen her marker, which is pretty cool. I just don't understand the statement. There's a guy's buried face down above Monroe's crypt.
That there's another person buried, but he's buried face down above Marilyn's.
I see. Okay.
So
I see. Thank you.
The person that they buried above Marilyn Monroe, he's actually face down.
Okay.
So he's basically looking at Marilyn.
Okay. Because in the tomb,
actually,
then
that's kind of a pimp move, I will say.
In the tomb, then, right?
If the tomb is above Marilyn Monroe, so
it's above ground. Like she's not buried in the ground. She's in I can show you. At least that's where the marker is.
She's in a tomb, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's someone buried, or there's someone above her on the above tomb.
Right.
That in that person's face down and not face up.
I see. Is that okay? I get it.
When you think about it.
That is kind of a pimp move. Do we know who the guy is?
I don't know.
We don't know
now
who
that
that
got me thinking about when I go.
I want to see if I can get a picture here. Hang on. This is 2018. Okay, maybe it was 2018 we went. Hang on.
I'm like, can you bury me face down, but at the opposite end, so I'm in a 69 position?
Maybe. Okay, I've gone too far. That's the Voice Arts Awards.
Yeah, because I remember you sharing. I think I've seen you in front of the Marilyn.
Yeah, we went to quite a few.
site.
Great. Oh, wait. What's this? Is that it? Is that it? Who's this here? Let me just see. I'll bring it up for everybody to see. No, that's Judy Garland. That's cool, though. Same kind of thing in like a tomb. Judy Garland, June 10th, 1922 to June 22nd, 1969. That's pretty fucking cool, too. Okay, so maybe they're buried in the same. And then I saw Estelle Getty's grave. That was awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. That doesn't make any sense. Where? Oh, unless it was 2019. Oh, wait. There it is. That's it. And there's lipstick all over it. 1926 to 1962, Marilyn Monroe. Yep.
Why can I not see it?
I haven't brought it up yet.
Oh, because I don't have it. I don't have YouTube up because I'm editing.
And there's Hugh Hefner. I also haven't brought it up yet. Okay, so it's
Can
just
I see it?
it's just a close up of it. It's not. I didn't get a wide shot of it. Unfortunately, God damn it. I just got a close up of it. Let me just hang on a sec here. I should have got a wide shot of it. That's too bad. Or maybe I have it somewhere because I have other folders as well. So 1 second here. Come on. Thank you, everybody, for your patience here. Let me just bring this up. Okay, so again, it's a close up, so you don't really see the lines around it. But nonetheless, this is her where she is. Okay, here we go. Okay, can you? Ooh, it's really big. Hang on, let me get that down. Can you see that? It'll pop up in a second. It's not a very good photo at all because we were in kind of a rush to get back to the hotel, so I had to like snap these really fast. It's totally crooked and everything.
Man, talk about a delay. Oh, there we go.
You see it? Yeah.
Well, it's a zoom. Oh, wait, you're fixing it.
Yeah. No, yeah. I zoomed it. Okay. Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's where,
so what? So people have kissed it?
Yeah, people put on lipstick and they kiss all around it and whatnot. Okay. And Hugh Hefner is right.
Is that a picture of Marilyn Monroe next to the sign?
It is. Yeah. Okay. Hugh Hefner is got the same plaque, and he's next to her on the left. And then there would be somebody above her. Howard D is correct. But I don't know who it is because I didn't snap a photo. I must have a photo of the tomb further away. I must have it further away. I don't know where it is. I have other folders with other photos from our trip. So I must have it further away somewhere. I know I do. I just have to find it. That wouldn't have been the only thing that I took. That was like, we took a bunch of them. I just have to find it. But anyway, that's what it looks like. That's where she is. And I believe that's the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken. Jose Reyes sends in $4.99, says, will you and Wham, you mean like fucking George Michael? You gotta have faith, gotta have it. Do another massive video for HN's close to its release date. Did we do a massive video? Did me and Wham do a massive video for Halloween Ends before?
I don't remember you guys doing one for Kills.
No, I don't think we did. I think what Jose might be talking about, because me and I like the guys over at Wham a lot. I like Mike and Jay. They're awesome. But we don't really collab. So I don't know. The only thing I can collab, such a hipster fucking word.
You hipster.
Oh, it is. It's such a, I hate, anyway. It's like, I don't know.
Dave.
It's just, I know.
It's collab.
What you might be talking about is the Hallow streams that myself and Wham and Lee McCoy and Wolfman's Got Nards, maybe that's what you're talking about. And you're wondering if we're going to do one for Halloween Ends. I think we are. I know Lee would like to do it. I'm totally down, but it's just coordinating everybody's schedules. So hopefully we'll be able to do it. Thank you, Jose, for the the super chat. Matthew Farisi, haven't forgotten, Matthew. I know I still got to get it over to you. Sends in $1.99. Thank you, Matthew. Really appreciate that. And then HT, you're rocking the super chat tonight. Sends in another $5. Says, ever since you called me demonic, I told someone you said my name as demonic, and they said that's a good porn name. I said I'm an actor, not a porn star. That's good. Yeah. Well, it was just I don't think I had my glasses on, and for whatever reason, instead of Dominic, I read it as demonic. And hey, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's funny. Thanks, HT. And then what else? We're a little bit behind here. Let's see. Movie Chat and More Part 2 sends another £2. Says, guys, are you a fan of The Color of Money? Tom
Cruise and
Tom Cruise Color of Money?
Yeah, Tom Cruise and I almost said Robert Redford, but it's not. It's what's his name?
I haven't seen that movie. I don't think.
The other one.
I know the movie you're talking about.
Jesus Christ, I can see his face. I can't think of his fucking name.
Michael Douglas? No.
No.
The Color of Money?
Oh my God. Fuck.
Hang on.
I'm having a mental break right now.
Color of Money. Oh, it's not even a movie thing.
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman. Yeah.
I knew I'd get it.
Color of Money. Okay. Yes. No.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I haven't seen that movie. Nope. Haven't seen it.
You haven't? Oh, that's a great movie.
I'll have to watch it. Jordan.
Speaking of,
I know about it. Like I've heard of it. It's not like I'm unaware of it. I just haven't seen it.
Speaking of, I'm getting extremely excited for Top Gun Maverick.
It's coming out. It's coming out soon.
Excited.
It's coming out.
Love the new Lady Gaga song. Really liked it a lot. Kind of has a throwback to the 80s a little bit. Epic chorus, So, I mean, look, Lady Gaga is probably one of the best, most talented, when she's stripped away and she's just singing as far as female vocalists of the last, decade. And I'm not a fan of a lot of, current music, but I can't deny that chick can just belt out.
Oh, she's she's got a great voice.
Like I said, some of her pop stuff is cool. Then there's some songs I'm like, yeah, but when she's just singing like she did for the soundtrack here, yeah, that girl can fucking sing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Jordan Ellis sends in $9.99, says, hey, D&T, what's up, Jordan? I remember seeing this film for the first time, maybe 15 or so years ago, and instantly remember wishing the Freddy tease at the end of Jason Goes to Hell remained a tease. Laugh out loud. So basically, Jordan's implying that, wasn't a big fan of the movie. I think I would have. And did you know, a lot of horror fans know, of course, that hand, I believe, anyway, I stand to be corrected, but I believe I'm right, that hand that comes out of the dirt at the end of Jason Goes to Hell is actually Kane Hodder. Yeah. Yep. It's Kane Hodder who's got the glove. And I didn't like that either, because the glove also looks plastic to me because the knives are bending and shit as he's reaching for the mask. I didn't like it. So I agree with you, Jordan. I agree with you, man. And thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Fast Forwards 289 sends another $4.99. Says, hey, Dave, can you do a Johnny Depp trick or treat motherfucker? A Johnny Depp trick or treat motherfucker? I guess because I was, okay, well, yeah. Trick or treat.
That poor man. I've never wanted to see someone win a court case so bad in my entire life like I want him to win.
I know. But Johnny Depp could take this is how Johnny Depp would say it. Okay?
He's methodical. Forwards. I know. He's very methodical.
Well, but he's so dramatic. Trick or treat.
All right.
Motherfucker. That's basically what he would say.
Pretty much.
Matthew Farisi sends in $4.99, says, this movie loses my respect for making Jason afraid of water. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's kind of weird. Why would they do that? Still fun to watch, but it pisses me off. Jason has no issues going in the water. I wouldn't think he would. Maybe Ronnie Hughes he thought, well, he drowned in water, so he would be afraid of water. But if he was familiar with all the source material, he would know that he's also drowned, 500 times throughout the series. And the series is canon.
Never hire somebody to do something who doesn't know the source material.
That's it. Or you would think that at least the studio would be like, we need to change that. And they didn't. Tyler Reese, is that how we say that? Sorry if I butchered that, Tyler. Rice, maybe? No, I think it's Reese. Is it Reese? Yeah, maybe it is. $5 says, I realize this is off topic. That's all right. But I found out that the director of Halloween 3, Halloween is never off topic, according to everybody. But I found out the director of Halloween 3 played Myers attacking Laurie in the closet in the original. It wasn't Castle. Yes, that is correct, Tyler.
Tommy Lee Wallace.
That's Tommy Lee Wallace. Tommy Lee Wallace was Michael Myers. He was the production designer on the original Halloween. He was the one that went to the store and picked up the Shatner mask and the clown mask and all that kind of stuff. He was the one that was, I guess he was also maybe props master as well.
The door basically, and how to, he knew where the points to hit it.
So the story goes. So I don't know how many other closets he had busted in his life, but yes. So the story goes that they got him to do it, and he dressed up in the outfit, and yes, so that is Tommy Lee Wallace, not Nick Castle, breaking through the closet door. Now, when it jumps to the sit up and the head turn, that's Nick Castle. But yes, that is right. Tommy Lee Wallace was also the director of the miniseries It in 1990.
Yes, that's correct.
So there's another little tidbit of information for you.
Tommy Lee Wallace does the voiceover for the commercials
in Halloween 3.
Yeah.
It's time, kids. Gather around.
He kind of has the perfect voice for
that, too. Yes, it's almost time. The clock is ticking. That's Tommy Lee Wallace as well.
It is.
Let's see here. Juan Rivera sends in $5, says, do you think Castle's legacy as Myers is cemented since Blumhouse took over the Halloween franchise?
I think even without that, it always has been cemented.
I agree. Castle was doing cons before Halloween 18. I met Nick Castle at Fan Expo here in Toronto in 2015. And that was a year before a year or two before they even announced that they were going to do another Halloween. And of course, we have Sean Clark to thank for Nick Castle going to conventions, because Nick Castle, in the early 2000s, as the story goes, Nick Castle had no idea that this was even a thing. And why would you, right? Fans have to understand that actors are actors, and Nick Castle wasn't even really an actor. He was just a friend, is like, here, walk around in this, right? He wanted to be a filmmaker. He directed, of course, The Last Starfighter, Dennis the Menace, Major Payne, I think even Mr. Wrong with Ellen DeGeneres, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
So, he hasn't had a lot of commercial success, obviously, but he wanted to be a director, a filmmaker, and he became one. He was. And so he was just doing his buddy John Carpenter a favor by walking around. Nobody thought it was going to be anything. But his legacy, especially since the internet, right? That's the thing with the internet and the ease and access of flow of information, we can find out who these people are and what their faces are and who, all that kind of stuff. So I believe Nick Castle told the story about 15 years ago or something like that. He told it recently, but about 15 or so years ago, he was online, and I think it was the MSN homepage or something, or some sort of homepage where it was some sort of horror icons of, whatever, and it showed Robert Englund, and it showed whoever, and then it showed Nick Castle. And he himself was like, what? The fuck am I doing? Because he just did one movie. He had no idea it was this big thing. He had he knew Halloween, of course, was, a big movie, but he had no idea of the fandom, right? The world of fandom and the craziness and the pop culture footprint in terms of the fandom aspect. Of course, Nick Castle would know that it became the highest grossing independent horror movie of all time at one time. Of course, he would know that, but in terms of its impact on fandom, he had no idea there was all these conventions and people wanting to meet you and do all this kind of stuff. So Sean Clark, of course, in the early days of his company and doing the convention circuit, was like, come on, Nick, you got to come. I was like, nah, nobody wants, I don't want to, this kind of stuff. And so he tagged along one day, I think this is correct. He tagged along with Sean Clark and Tommy Lee Wallace. And Nick was like, I'll just sit with Tommy and let Tommy sign stuff. But of course, people recognized him immediately. And they wanted his autograph. Well, if Tommy Lee Wallace, what the fuck? So, no, Nick, you can't just sit there and support your friend. People are going to want your fucking autograph. And that sort of, the Cliff Notes version of how Nick started the convention circuit.
Being one of the first ones there and not knowing that Castle was going to be there and walk up and you're like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah, because he wasn't advertised to be there. He was just, he tagged along to see what it was all about, and he was floored. He couldn't believe that there were all thousands of people that wanted to get autographs from all these horror people. He's like, this is wild, this is crazy. So then, obviously after that, Nick started the convention circuit, and of course that was long. I mean, this is going back to like the mid 2000s.
Good money for these guys to make.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, depending on the size of the convention, obviously some conventions, you'd again, I don't want to speak because I'm not a convention expert, but I would imagine, depending, the convention would, if not pay for you to be there, would pay for your flight there, would pay for your accommodations.
Don't you have to pay to get their autographs and pictures taken and shit?
For sure, you do, yeah. And a percentage of that would go to, of course, whoever, I mean, there's people helping them and percentages and all that kind of stuff. And Sean, of course, people know him from Horror's Hallowed Ground, but he's a convention booking agent.
Give that guy credit.
He gets a percentage of it as well and all that kind of stuff. But again, I mean, I have 2 agents myself in the world of voiceover. They take 15%. In the United States, it's 10%. But of course, with the dollar exchange, it probably works out to be the same. And Sean would take 10% of whatever, whether it's the booking, whether it's the fees, whatever it is, not necessarily 10% of what they get at the table. Okay. I'm talking about, whatever it costs to actually book. But again, Sean would be able to speak more on that than I would, but certainly, yes, of course they get paid. And why wouldn't they? It's their time. They're flying all over the world. Of course you pay for them to be there. 100%. If somebody wanted me to go to a convention, and listen, I'm not Nick Castle, but if somebody was like, we want you to come to this convention, hypothetically, somebody said that, I'd be like, okay, and what are you paying for? I'm not paying on my own dime. I'm not going out there. Of course. That's the way it works. It's business, baby. So yeah, when these people fly to like Europe and fly all over the country, I absolutely would imagine that their flights are paid for, their accommodations are paid for. And of course, you pay to get your photo. No, yeah, of course. Absolutely. That's the way it works. And good for him. He's kind of found a second wind in his older years, right? It's this little thing that he did so many years ago that has become
probably
really
for
popular.
All of like 3 or 4 days, and that was it.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I mean, really, when you think about all the scenes he's in the movie, that probably equates to maybe 3 or 4 days tops.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he was hanging around. Like he was hanging around set.
He was.
I do know.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he was there longer than 3 or 4 days, but actually physically working was probably about 3 or 4 days, and that was it.
Yep, for sure. All right, we got to get through these here. Let's see. That was that one. Anthony sends in $4.99, says, "Can you please watch Jason Takes Manhattan?"
So you can take your time.
Okay. Can you please watch Jason Takes Manhattan? Laugh my ass off. The film is a guilty pleasure of mine. I love it. We have watched it. If you, we did. If you YouTube, I'm pretty sure we did. Did we not?
I know we did. Jason Goes to Hell. That I do know.
Maybe we didn't. Maybe we didn't. Jason Takes Manhattan. Maybe we didn't. I thought we did, but maybe we didn't. I'm not seeing it pop up here. I did a best and worst of with the slaughtered lamb. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I thought we did. I thought we did. We
talked about it.
Maybe we talked about it. Maybe we didn't. Maybe we didn't. We'll think about it. We'll think about it.
Damn, it's too bad because there's a Friday the 13th this Friday.
There's one coming up, that's for sure.
Although I always, I don't know what other people do. My tradition is always I watch the first 2. If I can squeeze in part 6, I will. Just depending on the day and how my day goes. If I'm busy with work stuff, but definitely I always get the first 2 in for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I think I've got all the super chats. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think I missed anybody, which is great. Let's see if we can get a few non-super chats here. What do we got?
10 more photos to edit. So
we got 9 hours.
You guys are keeping me busy.
No, but we're at 2:38, so I don't want to go too much longer. But let me see here. WLJJ Movie Review says, you know what I love about people? They hate a certain movie. Hang on, let me try that again. You know what I love about people when they hate a certain movie, I think is what you're trying to say. But when you watch the movie you love, it bendy like a certain movie and I end up hating. It's funny how it works out like that. I'm not, hang on a second. You know what I love about people? They hate a certain movie, but when you watch the movie you love, it bendy like a certain movie and I end up hating. It's funny how it works out like that. WLJJ Movie Reviews, my apologies. I don't understand what you're trying to say. Are you trying to say that sometimes when you watch a movie, you hate it, but then when you watch it again, you don't end up hating it and you actually quite like it? It's funny how it works out like that. Is that what you're trying to say? If it is,
sounds like that's what he's trying to say.
It kind of sounds like that. If it is, then I don't know if there's ever been a movie that I've ever hated that I've done a complete 180 on, to be honest with you. If I hate a movie, I usually just hate the movie because there's very quantifiable, specific reasons why I don't like the movie, and those things never change when watching the movie. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like a feeling that I get or anything like that. It's usually more specific. There's been movies that I've watched that I've liked, that I've watched again, that I've been kind of so-so on, though. I have had that experience. He follows up. He says, I was trying to say there's movies that people hate, and then when you watch it, you love it. But then there's a movie that someone likes, and then you watch it and you hate it. It's funny. I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. I get it. Yeah. That
happens all the time.
Happens all the time, right? I
love the Batman. My brother didn't like the Batman.
Yep.
My brother's the comic book guy. So, he's kind of like me with it, though. The one aspect of it that I don't like is I'm very much over the Bruce Wayne, Selena Kyle story arc. We've been down that road like 3 times now.
Mm-hmm.
I need new villains. Like, I don't need to go to the Joker well again. I want some fresh faces. The Batman's got an arsenal of villains out there. Everyone wants to see the Joker in this next new one that they're doing. And I'm just like, really? Like, there's so many other villains. We've seen the Joker 3 fucking times, Well, 4 if you count Joaquin, even though he's not part of we won't get into that, but I'm just saying, you've seen the Joker 4 times. There are so many great villains in this universe, and it's just like, give me some fresh faces, man.
There are
the same shit over and over again. See, it's just,
that's true. It's true. Chester Franklin Jr. says, Dave and Tony, what are you guys' thoughts about Firestarter 2022 movie coming out on Friday? And are you guys going to watch it? I'm actually excited to see this movie.
Zac Efron's in that?
Yeah, and it's the remake of the Drew Barrymore one from the early 80s. John Carpenter and Cody Carpenter and Daniel Davies have done the score for it. Yeah, I'll watch it for sure.
Is it streaming?
I don't know.
I'm probably not going to go to the theater to see it.
No, I probably won't. I won't go to the theater to see it either. But
in the chat room. If it's streaming, let me know what platform it's streaming on.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it. Like, Frank Riker says here, I know what you mean, movie reviews. I hate Dave myself. That's exactly it. And I love Frank. Frank hates me. I mean, it's just, sometimes it's like that with people. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. Oh, Riker says, it's on Peacock. Oh, okay.
Oh, and I have that. Well, yeah, you do. You can do this. Remember we did. I could hook you up with that again because I still have it.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, wait, though. I'm not paying for it anymore. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream it because I'm doing just the free version of it. I once Halloween Kills.
So it's the ad supported version.
Yeah, it's the free version of it. But I don't know how that's going to work if I'm going to get access to it because I only paid for Peacock when Halloween Kills was streaming on there. So
right.
I don't know how.
And I think it's the ad supported one, right? Like there's ads when you watch shit, I think.
Ask them in the chat room because I still have it closed because I'm still working here.
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Ask them if.
Well, you can ask right now. They can hear you.
Okay, guys, and Dave can recite it. Do I have to pay for the premium service of Peacock in order to watch it, or can I watch it with the free version that I get?
Okay, so I'll translate that into English. Does Tony have to? No. I get you. I get you.
Well, like I'm trying to watch the chat room and close it out at the same time, so I'm not lagging here.
Yeah. No, totally.
I'm trying to do like 10 things at once.
Totally. Juan Rivera sends in $2. Says D&T favorite gangsta movie. Mine is Goodfellas. I don't know. Scarface is great. Yep. Goodfellas is really good. Yep, for sure.
Wait, what was the question?
Favorite gangster movie.
You know, it's funny you say that because I just watched The Irishman.
The Untouchables, if you kind of...
It was all right.
Yeah, I thought The Irishman was pretty... Hey, listen, they're later in years. Anytime you can get fucking Pacino, De Niro, and Pesci in the room together, I'm in.
Yeah, you can't nitpick. But if I have to... My favorite gangster, I mean, Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Goodfellas, Scarface... the classics. There's some great ones too with Bogart, Angels with Dirty Faces.
Yes.
That's a classic one. White Heat with James Cagney. That's a classic one as well too.
Would you classify?
We go to the good ones.
Of course. The more modern ones, right? You know, more
right. We know the more modern ones, but Bogart and Cagney did some great fucking gangster movies. Johnny Depp's movie Public Enemies was pretty good. I enjoyed that, based on the Dillinger story. I don't know if you would count Highwaymen as a gangster movie. It was a made for Netflix film with Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson, based on they played the cops or they were Texas Rangers, and
right
who went after Bonnie and Clyde, which Bonnie and Clyde fall in the gangster category. And that's another great one with what's his name there, Dick Tracy, the original Bonnie.
Warren Beatty.
I know Warren Beatty. And what's her name? She's so beautiful. The blonde who plays Bonnie in that one.
I can't remember
her name now. She's absolutely. Someone in the chat room will let you know, and you can let me know.
Okay.
But I was just thinking about that too when with Bonnie and Clyde. That's a movie that could use a modern telling. You know what I mean? Like it's been a minute since they've done the 60s version. I know they did one.
And you'd probably hire fucking. Oh damn it! What's her name? The girl that played Harley Quinn.
No, because she needs to be a petite redhead, because that's what
I know.
That's who Bonnie was.
I know, but I could totally see her putting a wig on her, and you know what I mean. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's many great gangsters.
Would you classify the Untouchables as a gangster film?
Absolutely. It's I mean, yes, the focus is on Connery, Costner.
Yes. It's a great film.
Andy Garcia, and whatnot. The cops going after Capone, but it totally falls in the gangster category. That's like,
I think Brian De Palma directed that, right? I think that's a great film.
Who plays Capone in that? I forget.
De Niro.
De Niro.
Yeah.
That's right.
Remember the baseball bat scene? He hits the guy over the baseball bat and stuff?
Yeah, that's totally a gangster. Absolutely. That falls in the gangster genre.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even go as far as say Young Guns falls in the gangster. I mean, but it's the 1800s,
Yeah.
Regulators, mount up.
It's true.
That's a good movie. Young Guns.
It is good.
I love that movie.
Oh, yeah, it is good. All right. Okay, listen. That's going to do it. We got to skedaddle. We're approaching 3 hours here. 3 hours, Freddy versus Jason. Mind you, the last hour and a bit was questions. But people are going to look at the time of this and go, they went 3 hours on Freddy versus Jason? That's going to do it. Hey, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate it. We love you guys. Comment below and let us know your thoughts on Freddy versus Jason. Thank you to my great moderators, of course, Frank Riker, Tabitha Short, Darren Sands, Chris Baber. You guys are awesome for doing what you do. There's Frank right there. Love you, Frank. And thank you to all the super chat questions that came in tonight. There was a lot of them, but we got to them. Thank you so much for supporting the channel on that level. We really appreciate it. And Tony and I, of course, will be back next Monday night at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tony, any last things you want to say as you continue to work away there on your photos?
Worked away into the midnight hour. No, this was good.
Good show.
See you guys next week.
Good show. We'll see you guys soon. Alrighty. In the meantime and in between time, cheers.